Okay.
You up?
Vanessa, y'all staying right there?
You heard the man.
I didn't. I'm asking you. What do you mean? Is he the man of the house?
That's a question.
Oh my god. That's crazy. It's like I don't even exist, fam. Nah, but seriously though, y'all staying there? I just wanna know. Okay.
Actually, let's go eat some dinner, everybody. Let's go eat some dinner. You can't go back to sleep, nobody. Mommy wanna sleep tonight. Yeah. Just like that. I love you. But not tonight. You can stay up tomorrow night. Because your parents don't have work on Thursday. And your father can stay up with you.
What did I just get included into?
Sounds good, right?
That sounds like a Shopify related.
That's so you staying up with Levi tomorrow night.
What about my stomach though? I gotta ready my stomach for the feast. What you mean? Okay, there's one thing I do need to edit, which I should have edited before.
I smell job. You're ugly.
Yo, appreciate the follow, Mastodon. Appreciate that. I said. Okay, let me move this up here. So that does make the most sense. Okay. Now, let's lock all these. Before it's my mistake. Okay.
You're ugly.
Relax, I'm about to give it to you.
Okay, that was way better. Arthur in the chat. What's going on? How you doing today? Okay. So I'm about to see the bracket right now.
Sick.
Three. bracket has been seeded. See what's going on here.
Who do we have playing who?
So we got AJ versus Gale. Easy to win versus L-Word. Let me see. Who do I want to see? Roji, do you have anybody that's in the tourney added?
I have Italian X added. I know that for sure. He and I talk about Malphite quite a bit.
Okay.
Or at least I thought I had him added.
I think I have Byway.
Maybe I don't.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I think I have Byway added.
That's weird. I could have sworn I had him added.
I have Italian X added. I guess not. I guess I also don't have Italian X added.
Maybe he cleared his friend list or something.
I should follow by example. You know how many people I have added right now?
Dude, I have...
I feel like Flock does that. He clears his friends list before a tournament.
I have like 250 people added.
Yeah, I think I have something along the... No, I have more than that. I have close to 300.
Oh my god.
Because I have literally 200.
Oh, I do have him added. Okay, he wasn't online.
Oh, okay. Because I have 271 people offline right now.
Dang. Alright, yeah, do you have Buy White added?
Let me see right now. Just looking, checking those friends list just now. Yes, I do.
Cool.
So when that match gets going, then we can watch that match.
Sick. Yeah, I was like, I know for a fact I should have him added. Like, we message each other and the client.
Well, hey, what's going on, guys? So today we got triple cast going on today. We got Emotional joining us. What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
What's up? How you guys doing? I'm excited. I haven't cast in a minute, but I like casting. I find casting a lot of fun to see how other people play, see their thought process, and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you taking the time. And also we got Grandpa Roji. What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
Yes, sir. Appreciate both of you guys taking the time. Plus, you guys are both, high caliber players as well. So you guys will be able to see some of the crazy lines that me and Doey will be like, bro, why did they do that? Mr. Emotional here is like, bro, he's like 20 steps ahead. What are you talking about?
He's just dead.
All right, Italian X is in game. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no problem. All right, copy.
So I am already loaded in, and I don't know the other decks that he brought, but Italian X is currently playing Thralls, and Byway is playing GP Sejuani.
Copy.
So this is a pretty big counter matchup for GP Sedge.
Yeah, GP Sedge is definitely... I've played a lot of GP Sedge lately, and that's definitely one of the matchups that feels pretty bad. Is any really slow control style deck that kind of just... The way Thralls beats you is it OTKs you and then finds a way to get rid of your Sejuani. A lot of people have this idea of, oh, I have Sejuani in play so I can Frostbite all your big 8/8s and you can't beat me. It's like, that's not typically what happens. Most of the time the Thralls players get Thralls out extremely quickly. It's either before or the same turn as your Sejuani, and you can't do anything if your Sejuani isn't leveled. But also, they run things like the Three Sisters and the extra copies of Lysandra, and if they actually entomb your Sejuani, then they just kill you in one turn and you can't actually do anything about it.
Also, a very notable thing is Lissandra gives the Nexus tough, so they can't just warning shot or make it rain. They have to have a barrel, and it makes the matchup really rough.
Alright. Bywhite picked up the Harpoon, which is, in my opinion, the most important key to the entire matchup is Harpoon. Seeing as how, if they have a Lissandra in play, and the Lissandra levels, the entire game is, not want to say impossible, but it gets on a whole new level of difficulty. So if you can get rid of the Lissandra and your opponent not have a backup Lissandra, then that makes the game a lot easier for you to try and find ways to take over.
Yeah, could see that for sure.
But we see here from Italian X has a really nice board wipe, being able to go Avalanche into the Ice Shard. We see 2 more Blighted Ravines in the hand of Italian X, so it's going to look pretty difficult for Bywhite to come back from this hand. He has no champions, and even if he did, the champions aren't leveled. And we see the Italian X already does have this Thrall that's already about halfway done with the countdown, Talia in hand, refilling with things like Perseverarium. And if the board ever gets too crazy for Bywhite, then we just see like Blighted Ravine come into play, and it's gonna be really hard to ever come back from that.
Yeah, that's true. He has the Talia ready to go. I think
Yeah, we can definitely see this looking pretty good for Italian X, especially if he can find himself a promising future before he plays the Talia.
true.
And I think he could probably end the game in about 2 turns. His next attack token. Not the coming one, but the next one.
Yeah, we see Bywhite just trying to grasp any Stormos board that they can by going aggressive here, playing the 2-drop, playing the Yordle Grifters, just trying to build as much boards as they can. But we see Italian X probably just going to slam down some of these Blighted Ravines, gain some health back, board wipe again, force.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Lissandra come down here first before the Talia. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, so we could maybe get out the Nexus tough next turn, but looks like we're just gonna go ahead and get that copy. And that is exactly why I wanted to play the Lissandra first, just in case we did draw a promising future. We would have had 8 Thralls coming out next turn, which would have just spelled defeat already.
True.
Yeah, getting a full board of Thralls is nice. On the bright side, you can still get, I mean, three Thralls is still pretty good when your opponent has absolutely 0 units in play. So being able to sit there and just play Lissandra, level your Nexus, and still have lethal is pretty fun. The crazy, like, something that's super crazy here is the fact that we actually have a decent amount of bird damage in our hand because we have so many warning shots. Let's see, what do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8. We actually have 10 damage right now if we were to just pop off all these warning shots in the make it rains. 7 and 3. I actually would have done that right now because we know the Lissandra is leveling next turn. I don't really know what their outs are, if any. So I would have just gone for this play of pray that I draw into something that gives me even more lethal, or pray my opponent doesn't open attack. Because now if you do things like the make it rain, your odds are pretty low to hit, whereas previously it was 100% to hit.
True.
And we see the victory being picked up very easily by Italian X. With those humongous Thralls, the 10 damage from Talia, and just Lissandra there as the cherry on top.
Yeah, it's really crazy how that game looked extremely dominant, but at the end of the day, Italian X was still only at 3 HP. So if he had any one less board wipe, or if we saw Bywhite get just one more kind of threat, that game was actually still over just out of nowhere because of the Dreadway and the 4 warning shots he had in his hand.
If he had gotten one more point of damage, it was actually lethal because he did have the make it rain in his hand as well.
Oh, that's
so that would have been 12 damage directly to his face.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane.
Wow, that's actually insane. That game was a lot closer than it looked, to be honest, because once he had all those Thralls on the board, I was like, wait, it's game, right? But he could have easily turned it around if he had 1 or 2 points of damage on the face, right?
Yeah, he needed a couple more stuff.
Wow, it's crazy.
We see the Feel the Mina list coming out. This is a very interesting list that is popping up namely because of Majin Bay. He did release a video on it, but I think this list is very interesting.
Yeah, Roji's a pretty nice guy. I think this deck is horrible. I think Field of Mina is a horrible deck. I don't really know what it beats other than just bad players, but hopefully Italia next can kind of show off how the deck performs here against another solid like tier 1 deck. I think, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm biased because every single deck I play beats Field of Mina, but the deck just doesn't seem that strong to me. You're just playing another like, I'm gonna stall and ramp and play big spell card, or play big spell deck, just like Fielder Rush is. Just traditional Shadow Isle Freljord Fielder Rush. Except you have a lot less of the anti-aggro tools, so this just seems extremely greedy to me. Because you're not playing Shadow Isle package, which is the Vile Thief. What does that do? It heals you. You have Withering Wail, like that kills stuff and heals you. You play this whole like heal package. Right? You still have some healing in this deck thanks to the Tavern Keeper and a tiny bit from the like Blighted Ravines, but you don't have nearly as much healing or as nearly enough healing to deal with a lot of the aggro decks that the Shadow Isle version has.
Yeah, I think this version is mainly trying to counter Thralls. That is primarily why Skathis built this list.
Yeah.
But and to also beat up on Scion. So those are the two decks that this is supposed to just hard beat. Other than that, I'm not too sure what this list is supposed to beat, but it is just a traditional Field the Rush, stall the game for as long as you can, and hope that you can get to that turn 9, or at least 9 mana with the Field the Rush. Or a
yeah, it's definitely just a go greedier deck, and I love metas like these. Like, as an aggro player, if people like Majin start making these popular, like I'm foaming at the mouth going into seasonals, if all my opponents are playing the go greedier game, because that's what it turns into. Because like you pointed out, this deck beats Thralls, and this deck beats Draven Scion, right? So how do you beat these already slow-ish style decks? It's like, okay, you beat them by being more greedy, by going more over the top. That's the same way that you used to beat the Targon mirror matches. Is how do you beat Lee Sin? You, instead of playing Lee Sin Zoe, you play Lee Sin Karma. And it's like, okay, well, how do you beat Lee Sin Karma? You just play Zoe Karma. Because the goal is just to see how late game can I make my deck. Because the better late game I have, to where if this game goes into the turns 15, turns 20, then the more likely I am to actually win these matchups. And whenever you do play against any deck that is pseudo like aggro or straight up aggro, then you're just gonna hard struggle, and it's gonna be really funny to watch.
Yeah, nah, that's true. I've also seen this deck on ladder a few times because I have been laddering a little bit, and I mean against Poppy's Zed is not even a contest. Like you smoke them, you just rally. Like there's not much they can do.
Most Demacia decks just destroy anything that has Freljord in it. So that's why it's really that's why Bywhite decided. I'm assuming that's why they decided to swap to the Silver Auction just to collect this free W before going into Game 3. Because any deck that plays Rally, any deck that I know. Silver Auction doesn't traditionally play Rangers Resolve, but any deck with Rangers Resolve, any deck with Rally, just completely annihilates any deck that has Freljord in it. So it's very smart by Bywhite to go ahead and swap to this Silver Auction list to hedge its bets, collect that free win, mentally reset to go into that final Game 3, and be able to just take it away from there.
There is one noticeable card that is missing from this list, usually, and it's Avalanche. And that's usually the scariest card in Freljord is Avalanche.
Yes.
And since they don't have it, it makes the rally matchups a lot worse.
Yeah, and do you know why they did that, Roji?
I'm not sure.
To go greedier. That's the whole point. Like, what does Avalanche actually do against GP Sejuani? What does Avalanche actually do? Actually, against GP Sejuani, it's not bad. What does it actually do against Thralls? Like, it does literal nothing. It's an actual dead card against Thralls, right? Against Draven Scion, it's not that good unless you pair it with something like an Ice Shard. Because most of the stuff in Draven Scion that you care about has 3 HP or more. So you just cut out these cards that are not good in these late game greedy matchups to put in later greedier concepts, like later greedier tech cards. Whether that's the extra copies of things like 3 Sisters, whether that's, you know, a full-on 3 copies of Mina Swiftfoot or something. Like, I don't have the exact list in front of me, but it could be any type of card that just helps you be greedier in these matchups.
Silver's gonna level here. Also,
Oh, and that saves the hunter.
Divisional level here, taking away huge board. So the really crazy thing here is if Italianex had a fielder rush, this game could look scary. But because he doesn't have a fielder rush in his hand, I'd have to assume this is just going to be a double blighted ravine because we don't have an actual rally from White. If we had a rally, this game is 100% over. I'm not a fan of the rally last turn. It seemed a little premature. Like your Sivir wasn't leveling yet. You weren't actually doing much with that rally. Even through no blocker, you're only pushing an extra 4 damage, and it's not lethal. And in a lot of these matchups, you kind of have to save that rally for turns that you already have the leveled Sivir plus the Absolver, and kind of just run away with games. Because all that last combat really did was basically just kill the Trundle, and that was very important.
Yeah, we see the double ravine coming down. Pretty much healing him back up to full, but then the ravine deals the extra damage. So we're looking pretty good actually here for the Feel the Rush list. And I just remembered that they don't run Avalanche because it is a slow spell, and they run Scattered Pod. So they're able to tutor out Feel the Rush.
That is some of the greediest that I've ever heard.
Yes, it is an incredibly greedy list.
I took out my turn 3 board wipe so I can add a 6 mana unit to find my 12 mana spell. Yep.
You know, it's designed to be 2 to 3 decks, and it does it well.
And it beats those 2 to 3 decks, that's for sure. Oh man.
So here I think I like throwing up the Trundle in front of the Radiant Guardian before committing a flash freeze, so maybe we can bait out a buff and then freeze the Radiant Guardian. But I guess we're not even going to risk the Trundle taking any damage. Like, him healing doesn't really matter, and Trundle is allowed to take damage because he has regen.
Right.
So I don't like the pre-commit on the freeze here.
Yep, I agree. I think you're either blocking with Trundle and clicking the OK button to bait out a removal spell. Because it's like, worst case scenario, you take 5 damage. This doesn't matter, because both of these plays you're taking 5 damage, right? But at least that way, like you said, Roji, it takes this Absolver out of his hand, which is a literal win condition. And if you take Absolver out of the hand, there is 0 way for Waibai to actually come back and win the game. On top of, you don't need to Frostbite early because, like you said, it has regeneration, right? So your Trundle's already not at threat. You might as well just keep it alive.
And there's that buff that I was talking about that I would have liked to have been able to hold the freeze for.
Wow.
Exactly. This whole game is a little bit different. I wouldn't say this game is necessarily won or lost off of that, but it's definitely still a game. Whereas if Italianex would have gotten the Absolver out of the hand the turn before, this is a non-game. Like, this game is non-game at this point because you don't have the... you still have a Trundle in play. You don't have the Radiant Guardian being bounced back to hand, so you can save that Will of Ionia for something else in the future. Wow, we saw a hard pass from Italianex on 9 mana. Didn't even play the Tryndamere. That's very interesting.
I definitely would have liked to see Tryndamere come out there. There's no downside to developing Tryndamere there.
I'm wondering what he could have played around by not playing the Tryndamere. Maybe he's just trying to play around like Sivir Rally or something like that, which I guess he played around for sure. But what does that line actually accomplish? And I don't know it really accomplishes much, especially if you're going to tap out this turn for just a Scattered Pod. Like, you're just dead. Like, he actually just found a way to let White win the game.
Wow.
Although he doesn't exactly have lethal here.
I think
just block with the pod and
right,
we're still
you block
looking
with
fine.
pod. I probably would have played the 4/5 to at least force him into Cataclysm. Because if you play... Yeah, this is interesting. If you play the Radiant Guardian, then you force out something instead of just saying block okay. Because like this play doesn't actually do anything unless you're actually playing a 5-hit the Nexus.
Yeah.
And then what you could have done is you would have So this is what would have happened. We attack with Radiant Guardian. We put him to 3 HP. And then next turn, he plays, you know, whatever he does. And then you try an RNG for the win. So you guarantee the 4 damage from your Radiant. And then you, like, last hope RNG that last 3 damage. Instead of trying to RNG the 5 damage. And then not getting your Radiant Guardian damage through. Because at this point, the healing...
Radiant come down here, and I don't think it'll be enough to...
Yeah, because at this point, even if you had it, like, the healing doesn't matter. So I don't really know why we stand back to the 4 or 5, because you're always dead to a Gilda Rush anyway. So this game was definitely winnable if we would have played the Radiant Guardian and put him down to the 3 HP, and then hopefully RNG'd away the last 3 HP with the Silver Spell.
True.
And seeing the Mina here in the hand, if he summons anything large, we can just... I don't know if we actually can throw a Mina down here. Because it doesn't really do anything. If anything, it gives him just an extra tick on the Horde, and it gives him
a 5.
the Trophy Seeker.
Yep, so here you just palm the Auction. Yep, you just palm the Auction, block, don't care about anything. So the game was played very interesting. We saw that Italian X kind of gave Silver Auction a chance to come back into the game. We drew the exact cards to come back into the game, but then decided to not execute it extremely well. So very back and forth game 2.
That was very interesting. So that means Italian X will be moving on to the next game.
Yeah.
So let's find someone else to watch.
Do you have Easy to Win at it, or Danunu?
Yes, I do. He has beaten me a couple times in this tournament. MN. Here he is. Alright, I am spectating Easy to Win.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so I got Danunu.
Alright, oh, here we go, Mo. Easy to Win is playing Poppy Misfortune.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I know Easy has been on this Scouts deck for a good minute. I think he had the highest win rate at the start of the season. He used it to go... I think at one point he had over his 8% win rate, almost breaking into the 70s with it. And actually was destroying people. Like I was one of the people he destroyed and kind of gave me the Scout Copium. So I'm definitely excited to see him play it. I'm a big fan of Scouts right now. I think this is very much a good time to be playing the anti-greedy player lineup, because there's so many greed decks, as we literally just saw with that last matchup. We saw that Italian X brought 3 extremely greedy decks, so those are the types of lineups that Easy One is trying to target with these Poppy MF Scout decks.
Make way.
Unfortunately, we don't have an elite for this Penitent Squire to actually take advantage of that Behold.
Yeah, she
But-
didn't get the tattered banner to hand.
But we do get to go a little bit wide and summon a Poppy on 4, which always feels good.
He appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's always nice to get the Poppy and have it have Challenger, but you don't really play the Penitent and like ever hopes of getting Challenger, because your only Challenger, I believe, is literally Cythria, which is the 1-mana Cythrias, which a lot of people aren't playing if you're playing the Penitent. So it's usually just going to be the 6-mana Cythria, which sometimes you're kind of happy that you don't see those. Like, you don't want a 6-mana Cythria in your opening hand. You know, so sometimes it's okay with that.
I really like this fervor coming from him. I'm not sure how many Resolve Easy to Win is on, but I think you have to go for that. Otherwise, Poppy can just kind of spiral out of control.
Yeah. Nah, I did like that play. I mean, like you just said, we don't know how many resolves he has in his deck, but I think it was a basically make or break play there.
Yeah, a lot of people I see are hesitant to do stuff like Fervor, because if you think about it, that's actually a really bad trade for Dudu. So a lot of people will see that and be like, oh, that's a horrible trade. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to 2-for-1 myself here to kill a Poppy. But at the same time, if you don't make that trade, then you actually can never kill it without using your fervor anyways, and you just let him buff his entire team.
And that is just no good. Letting Poppy buff the board for free is never good.
And then having to use fervor anyways.
Yeah. So then you're trading down even more cards. It's at that point a 3-for-1, and it's just not great.
Yeah, like imagine if Poppy was still on this board here. Like it just would have spiraled out of control for sure.
Yep, I like the pull from Easy onto the Mayor first. What that does is that's actually playing around Fervor. That's making Fervor worse. Because if you pull Teemo, then they can Fervor whatever they want to, including a shitty little 2-1, and then Fervor and kills the Genevieve. Whereas if you kill the Mayor, you still die to Genevieve, but at least you got to kill a 2-2 Mayor instead of a 1-1 Teemo.
Because we do have the elusive blocker from the Daring Poro, so Teemo isn't exactly a threat.
Right, so if Teemo lives anyways, you're like, oh fuck it, I'll just block it, and don't care.
We see 3 rallies in the hand of Easy to win. So I think if he's able to stick a Poppy here, he could do some nasty shenanigans with the amount of rallying he's able to do with this on this turn.
Yeah, I think the only thing you have to worry about is actually dying. Like there's the real threat of just going to the scary number 7 life total, and then you just get Fervor Decimate is always the thing on people's minds. But if you're Easy, you have to think, if they have Fervor Decimate, I'm never winning. Like if I have to sacrifice my Genevieve and I can't even level my Poppy, then I'm literally never winning this game. So because of that, you have to sometimes just take lines that help you win instead of lines that help you not win.
Yeah, playing to win is definitely something a lot of players don't always do. You know, they try to play to not lose, but then that makes them just lose because now they don't have a way to actually win the game.
Yeah, this is a very interesting pass from Dudu. So I was gonna comment on the fact that Easy can't really scout attack here because Poppy requires you to have a unit attacking with Poppy to level her up. So you can't actually level up Poppy if you don't have a unit. And because the Genevieve's at 1 HP, it can't actually challenge anything well, unless it has something like Barrier. So if you let this Genevieve die, then you can't you're relying on to top deck a unit with Poppy. So I would have actually overridden the Time Bomb or a 2-1 with the Poro sled. So that way I could just attack and then not have to worry about my Poppy ever dying. Because now what happens is you lose your Genevieve. I guess I still don't understand why we're not playing the Poro sled here. Because Poro sled's big enough to kill the Poppy. And it allows you to actually do that. Whereas now we have to top deck a unit. Fortunately we did. And then now I think it might just kind of be over. I guess Poro sled can still block the Poppy. But I really, really don't understand why we're not playing this Poro sled.
I also don't think we were supposed to take that scout attack. Yes, we did remove 2 units, but we don't have that challenger anymore.
Right,
and if
to
we
be able
like
to challenge out to something like a Poro sled.
The Genevieve would currently have 3 health right now. So we would have been able to clear up quite a bit of the board still while being able to challenge stuff, and we can rally, and we level up Poppy this turn.
Right, and if you really, really needed to, because the Poppy buffing health, as you said, she'd be at 3 HP off of this open attack. If you really needed to, once you rallied to this turn, you actually could have rallied and still gotten the scout attack off this turn, because that's how scout attack works. It just says the first time you attack with only scout units, not the first time you attack if it's with scout units. So that's a really nice play, niche play that a lot of people kind of miss on, is that if you normal attack and then you rally, you can still do a scout attack and then get your normal attack in after. So you can still get those 3 combats in your turn, even if you don't immediately start with a scout attack. But yeah, this game just kind of looks pretty done.
Still don't know why we haven't summoned the Poro sled. We would have been able to take out the Poppy.
Yeah, I was able to take out the Poppy like 2 turns ago. So, and like literally none of this would have happened because we would have never been able to open attack with Poppy, would have never been able to do anything.
I have my orders.
Are we ever dead here to the impact plus units? I guess not, because we can just summon. Now that we know the last card isn't Decimate, we just summon Mariah Wardens and block. Yeah, this game looks pretty pretty locked for Doodoo, but I guess
Wanna do
we
this?
decided not to
Not
win.
today.
I don't know what I said.
Protect my own.
Yeah, holding off on the Poro sled there definitely seemed like a misplay. I'm also not sure if we were supposed to block like that. I think we could have blocked the Poro sled with Poppy, knowing that we can open attack and just give her 2 extra health. We could still be 4 wide here. It's very interesting lines this game. But that is one large Poppy.
Right?
That is a very big Poppy, yes. And I like having the 10 mana to be able to do that for Demacia plus now.
That was so clutch. I had exactly 10 mana to do that.
I'm not sure if the 4 Demacia was exactly needed. We still had lethal, even if we just open attacked or
That's true.
rally attacked.
That's true.
But it's definitely nice to see the large numbers.
Okay, that's true. Maybe it was a little BM. Just a little.
It's always fun to just flaunt the power of the deck, right?
Right.
Always.
Here we see what Teemo Swain against Poppy Lulu. Oh wow. So Doodoo to Nunu switched up decks to the counter matchup. That's very confusing to me because Doodoo to Nunu knew that Easy to Win's deck that he was going to be playing was his deck because it's his second deck.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have that mentality of like, I'm gonna have to win eventually, so I might as well play my like bad matchup first. And I think it just comes down to like player preference. I'm the opposite, where I say I just want to give myself a guaranteed win going into game 3. So I'll take that because it's a good mental reset, and plus it tilts your opponent. Because if you're up 1-0 and then you lose, and you're like, oh shit, I could actually like lose this match now. That's a lot more mental stress than someone that's down 0-1, and then you end up winning, and then now you're like, oh shit, like I can win, like I'm back in it now, I'm not knocked out, it's 1-1, I tied it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot different like mental. He also could just dice roll it or just pick randomly and not care. So there's really no telling on why people pick certain decks. A lot of it's just personal preference.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. When you're down that game, you're just like, sometimes it's just the steam. Like you should start catching the steam, and that lets you be able to win sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm more like Yumo, where I like to play the matchup that I feel like I can actually win first, because then it brings me up, and hopefully it lowers the enemy's morale. Like, oh, I was 1-0, now I'm 1-1. Now there's a lot more stress on the line, rather than, oh, I have 2 games to just go through. But it's definitely interesting. Maybe he just let the random choose. Who knows? But I
Yeah,
do like
maybe-
this turn 4 Swain.
Yeah, I know when you're picking your first deck to go into a game, like go into a match, it's actually just mathematically doesn't matter, and you should just flip a coin. Assuming you don't like have a read on how your other opponent picks their deck ones. If you have no idea, that statistically just flipping a coin will tell you just like what deck to play, and that just still gives you the same odds as anything else. So I know that's true. I don't know if that's the same for going into game 2 where you know what your opponent's playing. I'm sure then it's probably better to go ahead and grab your like favorable one matchup or whatever. And that's how Nunu wants to play it out. Let's let him play it out. I think the super interesting thing is that they've decided to not play
Just
Zed.
know the heroes around
in the
here
deck.
somewhere.
Oh, it's a Lulu.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just Poppy Lulu. So I think this deck is not very good. I think Zed is kind of a must play. I think you can either swap out Poppy for Lulu and like make those changes, but I don't think you can ever take out Zed, because Zed can single-handedly and will single-handedly win you a lot of games and matchups, whereas neither Lulu nor Poppy can single-handedly win you a game by themselves. Like both of those units need other units to do well. Like Poppy, for instance, needs like a couple units to do well. Lulu needs some of the more specific units to do well. Whereas Zed, you just load up Zed and 4 spells and you just take it to town and win games sometimes. You can't do that with things like Lulu and Poppy. So Zed helps you out with a lot of those clunkier hands of like, well, I didn't draw a bunch of units, I didn't draw a good curve, but I do have like double rally sharp sight. And if you have a Zed, double rally sharp sight, you're probably winning that game.
That is an amazing hand if you have Zed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was just looking at Doodoo Nunu's recent match history, And I think this is the Poppy Lulu mid-range version with the Cythria the Bold.
Oh, with things like
And the
Cythria and Pod
convertibles.
and
Yes.
I
yeah.
see. Gotcha.
So that's why he's running Lulu. That makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Strength and grace, beauty and play.
Still think Zed's better though.
Yeah, I still think the Zed elusive better version is better, just because I think elusives are pretty nuts. It's just gonna be better in general. So I would probably still just be on any Zed variant. I think I'm almost tempted to say, even if I was playing a mid-range, a more like late game variant with things like the Cythria, I would still be on Zed, just because Zed makes some of your hands just super nuts.
Zed with Cythria Fearsome is kind of intimidating, especially if you can rally with that.
Yeah.
That sounds super scary.
Yeah, but another thing that's super scary is double Lecturing Yordle. Like, Lecturing Yordle is already one of the best champions in the game, so having 2 Lecturing Yordles in your game is pretty nuts.
He's just gonna keep putting them puff caps in that deck and making it scary to draw cards.
Yep, so I fully expect to open Barrier Girl on the Lulu, then like Tracker Poppy. And just kind of get like one of the biggest swings we've seen in a good while. So fortunately for Easy, he drew away to ping the Lulu. If he didn't draw away to ping the Lulu, this hand would have been really, really bad. Like, this turn could have been really, really bad for him. But because he top decks a ping to kill off the Lulu all in one action, it's not nearly as bad.
Without some danger.
So very interesting to not see the bird. I guess he's playing around like 3rd ping spell for the turn. That seems pretty odd to play around, seeing how your opponent's already played like 2 poison darts this game, and he's already played 2 Pokesticks. So you'd be playing around 3rd Pokestick or 3rd poison dart by playing the bird. So that seems pretty interesting from my point of view, but I mean, it worked out because Easy Twin, as we saw, like did draw the 3rd Pokestick, so it ended up working out. And then the randomly generated transfusion absolutely blowing Nunu out of the
That transfusion was massive there. Allowing him to kill the Poppy while keeping the Yordle, because for some reason this unit has 5 health.
yeah.
And with the buff, if he had 7 health, easily takes out the Poppy.
And
what?
moves.
Yes. What do we think our next move is here? Probably the Leviathan? Maybe to start pushing burn damage?
Yeah, if you're Easy, you can just slam Leviathan, because if Nunu doesn't have Will of Ionia in hand, and you get to slam things like Leviathan, well, now your opponent's on a 2-turn clock. Like, they just lose the game. Good thing for Nunu is that they do have this big tempo swing of the Will of Ionia, so you get to trade, 3 spell mana and 1 unit mana for this 8 unit mana Leviathan. You basically get to completely time walk your opponent and stop them from having a turn, period. We see that Easy is deciding not to attack. I think that's pretty smart. You don't want to just sacrifice all your units and then turn around and just get attacked with like a Flor Demacia open.
That was almost lethal if we didn't top deck that Pokestick.
Yes.
Let's see. He
So I like
top
this-
decked Pod?
Yep, so I like this play. I haven't seen the deck list, but I'm going to assume the only fast speed spell or slow speed spell in Nunu's deck is a rally. So I really, really like this. I was actually going to comment that I think buffing the 5/3 to have quick attack is going to be better because it makes it so it doesn't trade. So now you have just play Pod, get a rally, and
Yep, and you are right. The only slow spell he's playing in this deck is Golden Age.
yep.
So fortunately we can oh, and we drew some puff caps here, but we can ping the Nexus and we can also block the 5/3, but we go for the Teemo instead, to be able to block the elusive.
Yeah, so the Teemo is nicer because you can always Poison Dart if they're going to Golden Ages, and you know that's what they got. If you're Easy, and if I see my opponent grab a slow spell, I know for a fact he used Golden Ages, or he grabbed Golden Ages. So I like playing the Teemo first, kind of saying like, hey buddy, like yeah, cast that Golden Ages, and then I'll stun you again. And then what I like even more is this 9-head pass from Nunu saying, I don't want to rally with 2 units attacking. Like, I have a scatter pod that's already stunned. It doesn't even have elusive yet anyways. And then you can stun something else, and then you can just block my 1/2, right? So effectively, if he rallies last turn, he gets 1 attacker, and then it gets blocked by Swain. Whereas now, he gets to rally, and then he gets to immediately just say, I'm going to try and kill you. Because I have these 2 elusive units, you can't really do much with them. I have these 4 Demacias, because you know Easy's going to try and slam the Leviathan, because if you're the Teemo Swain player, if you can get this Leviathan Swain on the board at the same time, you just lock your opponent out of the game. If you get to go, okay, pass, with this in place, you're stunning 3 units, like half of the board, every single turn, then the game's going to be over from there. So you're forcing Nunu into the spot of saying, hey, you have to win on this turn, and if I can't deal with it, then I lose. If I can deal with it, then I win.
Fortunately for Dudu to Nunu, we do have the Poison Dart. We're gonna stun that pod yet again, and now this attack is just useless.
Yep, we see the attack become really bad, and then we're going to see Easy be able to live to the next turn, where they do get to slam down, or sorry, where they do have both Boat and Swain in play at the same time, stunning half of the board, and taking away the game. I kind of like going for a 4 Demacia, because it actually forces your opponent into blocking with a Young Witch, and then maybe you can get some chip damage in later. Whereas now with this, like, attacking with just the... I always wanted to call her Angel. Just the Radiant Guardian doesn't actually do too much. Because you get to gain 4 HP, but you're not actually progressing your win con anymore. And this is a play that says, like, oh, I'm going to play conservative and try to not lose, instead of saying, I'm just going to say fuck it and go for the win. Because, like, look at that. Last turn, if we would have had to... I guess we ended up drawing a Mushroom and getting stunned, but if we force him to block with the Teemo, and then we go to this turn and our Young Witch isn't stunned, we get to open attack Twin Disciplines, and we actually have these. So it's a lot of trying to figure out how to play to win versus playing to just not lose.
Yeah, I think Nunu was probably thinking about how he was going to make it to the next turn, but once Leviathan was on the board, it was kind of just over.
Yep, I agree. Big agree.
Okay, let me see. Rogi, do you have let me see. Do you have Flock added?
I do believe so. I think I remember playing him before. F. No, it does not look like I do.
Do you have Gaily?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me see if I can add the other generations. Quick.
Gailey's playing Kendoti, or Kendote. I'm not sure how to say his name. Oh, we are right in the middle of this game. We're on turn 7. Gailey is playing Lee Zoe with 3 of Eye on the board, so he has the wall. The Great Wall of Lee Sin. And Kendote is playing the Elise J. Skathis pile. This attack here does 8 damage, but we are going to be healing 6 damage next turn. Or it does 11 damage. We're going to be healing 6 anyways next turn. So this attack pretty much did nothing. And we have double Sonic Wave here on the side of Galley, so we'll be able to pick off the Jace. And maybe pick off another unit if we feel like we need to. We're just going to pretty much heal back up to full here on the side of Lee Sin. We're going to see if a Mystic Shot comes out onto the dragon, and it does. I cannot see. Kendoti's hand.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to add me.
Ah, okay. We see he didn't have a second Mystic Shot, otherwise he might have sent that towards the same dragon. He does clean up the Jace, which is very good for Galley, making that acceleration gate way less intimidating than it should be. And all his 6+ spells are no longer a threat like they were. Because Jace, in a way, does get over Deny because he casts the spell twice, which is really strong. Like here, if he still had that Jace, this Deny would be completely worthless.
Yeah, it gets around Deny, and it even gets around Bastion. However, it doesn't get around both Deny and Bastion. Because even if it has Bastion and you have something like a Vengeance, first Vengeance, if they're getting copied by the Jace, then first Vengeance obviously gets stopped, but then the second Vengeance just goes right through. So that's how Karma works. Whereas now, the problem would be if it has Bastion and Deny, the Bastion would stop the first spell, and you could just deny the copy of the spell.
Yeah.
As the dragon will.
He taps under 5 mana, so now we're able to freely summon Lee Sin with absolutely no threat, or no despair, no thermo beam.
Yep.
There's nothing that can really threaten our Lee Sin, so gonna be able to throw a Zenith Blade on him here and possibly go for lethal. There's a limited amount of cards that Kendote can have here. And I'm not sure if any of them beat Bastion.
I don't think they're going to be able to beat a Bastion without having a Jace play.
It would have to be a Vile Feast Vengeance exactly to beat this. Or
There is still a chance,
any ping
but-
spell Vengeance here.
Yeah, there's still a chance, but definitely not a good chance. You could
There we
also
just see-
get excited here, like, Elise. You could try and find a way to kill your Elise.
True, but you're still taking 10 damage at that point, and the game is practically lost.
Right. If you don't have a way to just immediately despair the Elise on the following turn, and have a way to deal with the Eye of the Dragon, so you're not just getting beat by two infinite 2/1s.
What was that, game 3 or 2?
It looks like that was game 2. I think they're going into game 3.
Oh, I'm being told right now that someone apparently forgot to check into their match and it DQ'd them. Who do they need to contact for that?
Oh, me.
It was Easy actually forgot to check in, so the match that we got to commentate on stream,
Oh,
he forgot to check in on the Metafy or Battlefy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering what happened because I saw Denunu win and I was like, wait, huh?
Okay, wait
Wait,
a
huh?
minute. We thought Denunu was the one throwing for content, and it turns out Easy to Win was the one that was throwing.
Because I was looking at Battlefly, I was like, wait, huh?
Oh man.
I see
They are teammates now, so who knows? Uh-oh. Caught. But yeah, he just forgot to check in, and I know Battlefy just automatically DQs you if you don't check in.
If only Riot would make a tournament client. If only Riot would do that.
If
only.
if only Riot would do best of 3 ladder.
Best of 3 ladder would literally be a dream come true.
Oh man.
Like, that has to be the next change in this next upcoming patch. I'm just like,
It'd be nice.
it's my copium.
It's your copium to get you through the dark winter.
Yeah. We have what, a whole another month before this
nother
balance
month.
patch.
I mean, I don't think a balance patch can ever get as bad as Go Hard Winter. I think Go Hard Winter was a miserable experience.
I don't know, man. Azir Aurelia kind of haunts my dreams.
Yeah, Azir Aurelia was not very fun.
Yeah, Zero definitely still haunts my dreams. But you know what really Haunts my dreams. Go hard. Go hard. Just.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 1 mana deal 5 to everything was just.
It was 1 mana deal 30. It was 1 mana deal 30. Like, just listen to those words that came out of my mouth. 1 mana deal 30 damage.
1 mana Sky's the Sin that hits face.
What part of that sounds
My
okay?
goodness.
Yeah, I don't think a
If you
card
wanna-
has ever received a 5 times mana cost.
Yeah, if you ever want to get super technical, then you can say, oh, well, it was actually 4 mana deal 30. And you're like,
No.
okay, man, you got me. Like, yeah,
No.
sure. You go hard 4 times and you deal 30 damage. Is
At
what
that
you
point,
wanna
it's
hear?
4 mana deal 33 damage.
Yeah, deal 30.
Heal 3.
Like, that's so crazy.
There's plenty of killing.
The people are still trying to make a case that that card was balanced. Shake my head.
Those people,
my
those were the
God,
people that played Go Hard.
Yeah, those were the go hard players. That's how you know if you're talking to a go hard player or not, because they'll tell you it was balanced.
Bro, you gotta.
Same with
be-
Lee Sin. You can tell you're talking to a Lee Sin player if they tell you that Eye of the Dragon is balanced. If they're like, oh, you don't need to do anything to Eye of the Dragon. Don't need to change the Eye of the Dragon Affiliate weapon combo at all. It's completely okay. You know that person has like hundreds of hours on just Lee Sin alone.
Ooh, we hit the Harpoon here, which is very good. We're free to develop Vygar now, especially after the Hidden Pathway comes down. And our Darkness is going to be very big very quickly. It's already at 3. We got a free hit with the Twisted Catalyzer. And we're going to get another hit with the Twisted Catalyzer, most likely, if we don't see a ping come out here from Kendote. And we don't see a ping.
Yeah, Darkness is one of those decks where if you don't draw exactly Catalyzer into Viger, the deck feels extremely weak. But the games where you do draw exactly Catalyzer into Viger, the deck feels like it's on a whole new level. Like it's a completely dominant deck. Especially if you get something where Catalyzer gets to attack twice, like that's almost unheard of. So if the Catalyzer attacks twice and you have Viger, and you were able to stop them from harpooning your Viger immediately, that is humongous.
This Darkness is already at 6 damage. That kills every single card in this deck.
Yep, even leveled Gangplank, even Dreadway, like even the big late game threats, we have it covered.
He's only on 1 Dreadway, so once we get rid of that 1 card, it's you know, pretty smooth sailing here for Gailey.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of the 0 Dreadways. On the versions I've been playing a lot of the TF Gangplank deck, I built it more aggressive to conform to the meta a little bit, to kind of adjust to be able to beat these greedy decks, because of course we went over it earlier, is what beats greedy decks. It's like the aggressive decks. So if you cut the things like the 8 mana Dreadway, the 6 mana Harpoons, even the Pathways, and you just go full in on this like 9/1 drop, a bunch of 2 drops, and you just hyper leveling your Gangplanks and kind of just beating them with burns, like triple double ups and stuff like that, then you find yourself winning a lot more against these greedy decks. So I do like that they cut down to 1 Dreadway. I personally went down to 0, but 1 Dreadway can help you out in a lot of instances, but not in instances like this, where your opponent just has a 2 mana kill a Dreadway.
Yeah, 2 mana deal 6 is just kind of absurd. Like,
Yeah, at this point, it only takes 2 Darkness to actually kill the Viger, so you can just straight up Darkness something, and then, like right here, if you wanted to, he can Darkness the Yordle. Yep, I like that a lot, because if something were to happen to this Viger, then you actually just immediately get to level.
we just drew double Catalyze.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, once Vygar levels, this game is over.
Wow.
Yes. So I really like this play. I like that Candidote kind of got baited into killing Viger. A really big tip for you guys that play against Darkness, stop killing Viger. If your opponent doesn't have a Darkness, like there's something that people don't realize. It's that Darkness doesn't actually have that many ways to make Darkness in their deck. The only way that consistently makes Darkness, other than pre-leveled Viger, is a Sinnoh. Fun fact, if your opponent doesn't have a Sinnoh in the game, by turn 8, they don't have a Senate in their hand. So stop giving them ways to make darkness. If you kill a Viger, you just opened up Rekindler, you opened up Miscall, you opened up Second Viger, and then now they are 100% of the time going to level their Viger. And all you did was waste mana. They're going to level Viger. Whereas if you wait for them to play something like, I call him Bulby, but the 2-mana light bulb guy, to where they like make a darkness and you see like, okay, he's already making a darkness, so I might as well try to kill the Viger because it's 100% going to level right now. Then that's going to be a lot better play instead of just saying, yeah, I'm going to kill your Viger and then just hope you don't have one of these other like 6 cards in your deck to completely negate the fact that I killed your Viger.
Yeah, I hope you don't have your 3 of Miscall, your 2 of Stress Defense, your 2 of Rekindler.
Yeah, on top of all the Stress Defense, right? So yeah, it's like there's so much that can go wrong for you killing a Viger that you just don't need to do. That's why a lot of times I just don't kill Viger. I just let it sit there, especially if they don't have a darkness. Like, what is Viger doing if they don't have a darkness? He's at 6 already, meaning if he gets a darkness, his Viger is leveling 100% of the time anyways. And you're already going to be on a 2-turn clock 100% of the time anyways. So at that point, you just force them to have the cards. If we didn't kill Viger this turn, or this game, we would not have a leveled Viger, not have an active Rekindler. Your opponent would not have a darkness in their hand. You'd still have whatever unit he just used to kill with the darkness. Like, there's actually so much that would have been negated from Gailey if Kando just didn't kill off the first Viger.
We would not have been able to Rekindler this Viger here for game, even though next turn it would have been game.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been game because we wouldn't have had a leveled Viger. Like, we just wouldn't have had that.
We wouldn't have had a darkness.
Yep, we wouldn't have had a darkness.
Kind of sitting there, staring at our board.
Yep, we'd be able to buy more time to draw into the things like the Dreadway, to draw into the Gangplank, to draw into, you know, any of these late game tools that we shoved in our deck to try and find ways to win. But instead, we kind of just said, you know what? I don't feel like winning. I'll help you out. You don't have a darkness in your hand? I got you, bro. Let me kill that Viger for you.
Alright, so I think that was the end of that match, because Gailey won on Lee Sin, and then he won on Darkness.
Yeah. You can continue watching Gailey. I'm gonna add the guy that the person he's about to play. I think it's Forito.
Oh, Ferretto. I have Ferretto added, if you have Gailey added.
Yes, I do. I do have Gailey.
Okay, yeah,
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a drink.
Oh, I could have sworn I did. Where did he go? I just saw him on my friends list. Did he relog? Yeah, I have him added. He's offline right now for some reason.
Okay.
And I'm back. Yeah, I gotta say, hydrate. You know you're supposed to drink like a gallon of water a day?
Do you not?
No. I mean, I do now because my girlfriend makes me, but I didn't know that. I don't think I used to drink a gallon of water in a month.
What?
I used to just drink like pure soda. Like,
okay.
All of my water intake was in my soda.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. There was a point in time where I was drinking 2 gallons of Dr. Pepper a day.
Damn. Like, yeah, I don't know how much water is in those, but surely not
a
enough.
lot.
Not enough.
Not enough, my guy. Nowhere near. Jeez. That's the sheesh right there.
Yeah.
But
we're good now. We're healthy gamers now.
Once I started drinking quite a bit of water every day, I started to feel a lot better, and I was like, wow, this is kind of OP. Maybe I'll keep.
Yeah, it turns out health
doing it.
is like a health is OP. I learned that too when I was talking to like a sports psychologist on how to like do better in card games and just competitive esports in general. This was of course with my timeline, it matched up right before the season. I went 9-0 and I started talking to them, and they're like, oh yeah, like stop eating like a piece of shit, stop being lazy and waking up at 2 p.m. Like, start going to the gym, start taking care of yourself, and then that'll help out a lot more than you think. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Thanks,
like,
man. Thanks for telling me I'm 23 years old with the body of an 80-year-old. I appreciate it.
Sometimes you just have to hear the facts to,
Yeah.
Make the change.
Yep, and I started taking care of myself, and things have gone pretty well. So that's what I said in the interview. They asked me before this seasonal happened. They asked me, or this last seasonal, they said, "Hey, previous seasonal winner, what is your tip to people that are preparing for these things?" And I told them to take care of just your health and mind. Like, just make sure to wake up, get enough sleep, wake up in time, eat breakfast, all that stuff.
That is something I have missed out on a couple of seasons or seasonals, and the seasonals that I do get a really good night's rest, I don't stay up till 2 in the morning before seasonals, and I make myself an actual good breakfast. I do phenomenally way better than I do.
Yeah,
whatever.
There's so much outside of playing the game. I actually don't play that much LOR. I haven't played that much LOR the last couple months, or I used to. When the game first came out and the first couple seasonals and seasons, I used to play this game literally 10 to 20 hours a day. I was clocking 50+ hour weeks for LOR. And that's not even including streaming, because I was working a full-time job at the time. So I couldn't even stream 50 hours. That's just how much I was playing. And then now I sit back and I take care of myself more and focus more on some things that are outside of the game while still playing. But I realized that if I can take some of that time that I was dedicating in that 8 to 10 hour play session to things like going on a walk or going to the gym, then I feel a lot better, and then I play a lot better as a result of it.
Yeah, definitely. Going on a walk before seasonals, and just going on a walk in general is just very good for you.
Yeah,
it helps your
walks
mental
are
health
good.
a lot. I definitely need to be going on some more walks, that's for sure.
Walks are good. I'm actually going on a walk right after this tournament.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Having a new puppy helps a lot with that. I got a puppy a couple months ago, and
what type of dog is it?
it's an Australian Shepherd.
Oh, Pog. My sister had an Australian Shepherd growing up. Those things are cool. Is it a
They're
smaller
amazing
one, or
dogs.
is it a full-size Australian Shepherd?
It's a full size.
Right. Yeah, she had one of the mini Australian Shepherds. I always thought the big one was cool.
My girlfriend's parents have 2 mini Aussies, and
Yeah.
from there I kind of fell in love with Aussies, and then I had to get one
Yeah, of
for my
course.
girlfriend.
Alright, it looks like we're getting in game, guys.
Alright, so
Alright.
we see, Gailey leading off with Darkness here into what I believe is Silver Auction. What is your opinions on how this matchup is? Who is
Sivir
favored in
destroys
this
it.
matchup? Do you think Sivir destroys it?
Yeah, I would agree. Only because Rally. I think Rally against a lot of these Shadow Isles decks is just too crazy.
Rally is very good against any deck that plays one thing a turn. And that's usually what Darkness is doing.
Yep, Darkness is a very tempo negative deck, so anytime you can take advantage of that by doing things like Rally, by doing things like just playing 2 units a turn even, is very, very big into these tempo negative decks like Darkness, where they aren't doing anything, like I said, of playing a Darkness or playing a Vigor or a Catalyzer.
If he
Speaking
didn't
of
have
Catalyzer.
double Vile Feast in his hand, we could just go double Waking Sands this turn and threaten 10 damage.
Yeah.
Which
we
would
see
just
Fredo
be
hovering the Waking Sands here, considering if they should just play one just to shove one in. Because a
And
lot of
we
people
do it.
don't like playing the 3-drop, I don't remember her name, of the Vagabond Girl, because using her to summon a Palace is definitely not as good as advancing it too. So a lot of people like to greed out for that value and just go ahead and advance it too after you do end up playing something like the Auction.
This Vile Feast is going to completely shut down this attack, unfortunately. For what could have been an insane attack.
Yeah, for what could have been half of Gailey's life total turned into just 5.
Oh, we don't see the other Vile Feast come out. We just want to get the big head out and get our Darkness a free stack. I like this play.
Yeah, I like this a lot. You don't really care about this 5 HP when you care about something. When you can Vile Feast to pop spell shields, we can Vile Feast to pop barriers. That's going to be way more important for you down the line when you have things like these big, what are already 5 damage Darkness. You want to be able to make sure you can kill the Vagabonds, you can kill the Sivers after you pop the spell shield. You want to be able to do stuff like that instead of Oh wow, he's able to make the Vagabond cost nothing. That is huge. Being able to make units cost more mana is the biggest nerf you can give to it.
Yeah, that not coming out till at least turn 7 is incredibly bad for Ferretto. But as you were saying earlier, we did wait and greed for the action, and then we were able to advance by 2. So now this palace is almost already completed. We have one more turn and it's pretty much flipped.
Yep, I'm not really a fan of the draw 2 cards there. I would have much rather just passed. And what that does is that allows you to have the 4 mana open for the Vile Feast Pokestick. So after blocking the 3/3 with your Catalyst, you get to block it, and then you put Freddo in a fork where they say, okay, I'm either buffing to keep my 3/3 alive, but then I don't have any more mana, and now you're free to kill the Auction with Pokestick Vile Feast. Or you let the 3/3 die to Catalyzer, and now all you have on board is a Auction, and you know that you can't play another unit until turn 7, and your hand is just not nearly as good. So I would have liked to draw either after the combat resolved, or just not at all that turn, to keep that 4 mana available, so you can do some type of trick to kill either the Auction or kill the 3/3 girl.
For sure. Here I think we kind of have to jam the Bruiser to try and get more board control.
Good. Now let me do my thing.
Yeah, I like jamming Bruiser because your opponent doesn't have a Darkness in hand, right? There's actually no way for Darkness to kill a 5 attack unit. You have to do something like a Minimorph, and this is why Minimorph is a very balanced card. Because Minimorph isn't 6 mana kill something. If they use Minimorph on this Vagabond, then you're giving them a 3/3. Sure, you take away 2/2 in stats, and you take away a really important text saying, oh, you get some, you get a lucky find, but your opponent is still threatening you with a 3/3. You're still taking damage from this unit. And that's something that's extremely important in these matchups, is being able to save your HP.
I think we might see an aggressive attack here by throwing out the Charger, but the Vile Feast here will counter that. I would have liked to have seen it in not in response, but right now, whenever we have the action.
Yeah, that was a pretty big punt by Ferretto. There's no reason to level the Auction right there, because you could have done all of this post Pokestick, and your opponent wouldn't have a 1/1 spider. Like, your opponent, they can Vile Feast to kill the 3/1 still, but they don't get the extra blocker in the Spider Leaf. The good news is, after forcing out the Vile Feast with that play, is your Vagabond's not getting Minimorphs. So you do get the, lucky find, so you can give that Auction Spell Shield, or you can give it more toughness or something of that nature.
True. I think maybe Ferretto was trying to maybe play around a Minimorph and get him to spend a little bit more mana by letting him know we're going to be threatening 20 or 18 damage this turn. So
Yeah,
he wanted to try and play around something. I'm not sure though. It worked out.
Yep, that was a very heads-up play by Ferretto to play around the Minimorph, because you do get to keep the Vagabond, or I keep calling Vagabond, you get to keep the Bruiser for an extra turn, or you did get the Lucky Find, but I mean, putting Lucky Find on the Bruiser doesn't do much if you don't hit Spell Shield, or same thing on the Auction. Being able to buff these units to not give them Spell Shield isn't going to do nearly as much when they can do things like get Darkness, or get Minimorphed, or get Stress Defensed.
Ooh, so we're going to see a humongous punish here with this Whale coming through. This Darkness dealing 6 is a huge issue for Ferretto.
Yeah, there's nothing that he can do to keep the Auction alive, but the bigger thing is that is half of what Viger needs to level. If Viger draws a single Darkness here in the rest of this game, then he just wins, because he levels up the Viger, he's able to hit the face for 2 turns, and he wins the game. Fortunately, we can get some type of tricky stuff here if we end up drawing into a Sivir, or if we get Spell Shield here on the on the Bruiser, because we do have an active Absolver. So if we are able to get out the Sivir, or if we're able to get Gaily to tap under the 6 mana, then we're able to just kind of win the game with, you know, these big overworld units.
It's very interesting to go ahead and pop the horde whenever it's popping next turn.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
you just need to pop it. I would have done the same thing because you are on the clock at this point. You know that Viger is leveling if they have a single way to pop the spell shield. So, or sorry, if they have a single way to create darkness, that Viger is leveling, and then you're just gonna be able to put on a 2-check block. The draw here was absolutely nuts. Being able to hit Sivir and the 1-drop was absolutely crazy. That was probably the biggest misplay I've seen in an extremely long time, because what just happened is he tapped under minimal stress defense mana, so you can't actually get rid of the Sivir. What you can do is you can still stress defense it twice, but you still open yourself up to die to like random pump spells, which is pretty unnecessary.
I just realized we had the attack token. So yeah, that is definitely correct to pop the horde here. I thought it was the other the other turn.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so this is like extremely insane, and this is what happens when you don't leave 9 mana open for stress defense minimorph. You can double stress defense Sivir, but that is not what's killing you.
Oh, wait.
This was a humongous punt by Gailey, and man doesn't know how Sivir works. So he needed that 9 mana open so you can stress defense minimorph, and I saw it happen the minute he tapped under. I thought playing the Otterpuss was perfectly fine, because Otterpuss costs 0 mana. It attuned, so you got the spell mana back, so all it did was give you an extra blocker, which is really good. But as soon as he played the prank to go under down to that 8 mana, I knew the game was over there, and that was a pretty big misplay.
Wow. Yeah, that was a deciding factor. The fact that he decided to prank there, that was a really big deciding factor there. Wow. Because he tapped under minimorph stress defense there. Wow.
Right, because the only thing you're trying to prank there is exactly
Absolver, right?
Yeah, like Absolver and Rally. But your opponent has so much mana that your prank is doing literally nothing. Because everything costs 1 less, thanks to the spell from the landmark. And then on top of that, he still had like 7 mana. So even if it's like some crazy shit happened where he made the Rally cost 2 more, it would still only cost 5 mana.
Is this dragons?
Maybe it's Malphite. Malphite
Garen Malphite. The amount of times I've tried to make that deck work. It is Leona Aesol Zoe. Interesting. So we're going with the Daybreak package. I'm not sure how well this exact version does into darkness. I know the traditional dragon list destroys darkness.
Yeah, I think anything that plays big enough units or can tempo anything. I know a lot of dragons decks are also playing rally, so as we mentioned before, rallies is a big deal for darkness. Just absolutely destroys it. So I would like to think that because your units are overstated whenever they come down, like for instance, Leona's pretty big for a 4-drop, Ravoon is the biggest 5-drop, because of things like that, you should be able to do well into darkness. On top of the fact that Gailey's hand is abysmal. And this is another reason why I hate darkness, because some of your draws are just too awkward. Your double minimorph hand with double Viger and a Senna and a 6-drop, like, the expensiveness of this hand is too much to deal with. And you can say things like, oh, well, this is just a bad hand. We saw it last game too. So it's not even like a 1 in 100 type of hand. It's that he just had it runner games where he had this double minimorph hand with double Vigers and stuff like that.
I don't know if I don't like playing the soldier on 1 into lieutenant on 2. We could have pushed a little more damage. I'm not sure if that's going to affect the outcome of the game. Maybe he wanted to bank 2 mana just so he could have sharp sight up.
Yeah, I think that was the key, was being able to hold open the sharp sight and being able to say things like, if you do go to kill something like my Leona next turn or my Dragon Guard, then I'm going to be able to sharp sight it. Because we really want to save the Dragon Guard for a Viger. We want to be able to say like, hey, I'm going to kill your Viger with this, you can't play it, ooh, I'm spooky. And if you do play Viger, then we say, okay, here's my sharp sight, your Viger's dead. Because a Lieutenant alone can't kill Viger, because he's just not big enough. So you need something like the sharp sight to be able to kill it.
We also did pick up the Meteor Shower, which is great for dealing with Vigar. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see an open attack here to maybe see if he develops a Vigar. I don't think we ever do Lieutenant here, or we definitely don't go Leona here.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Lieutenant. I don't like passing because Darkness is a deck that wants you to kind of just pass and do nothing. Because the later into the game it goes, the more likely it is to just kind of dominate you. So I'd much rather be a fan of the play Lieutenant, and then if your opponent passes, you can pass. Because you're like, yeah, sure, man. You can waste your turn for it, because at the very least, I developed a Lieutenant. Because if you pass, Darkness is going to snap, take this pass every time, slam down a Vigar, and then now, how do you actually kill this Vigar? It's like, oh, you have to waste your Meteor Shower on it. And so now you just went 1-for-1 with a Vigar, except they got a Darkness in their hand.
True.
Yo, and we could have a Lieutenant on the board, or we could have pushed 2 more damage last turn.
Yeah,
because
I don't like if you push the 2 damage and they just slam Vigar with no like hesitation again. So that's just another turn of like, you still effectively did nothing because that 2 damage doesn't matter. Probably won't matter. You're probably gonna win with just like big ass units. You're gonna win by like over like I'd probably say like 8 damage over if I had to guess. So I like the play of pressuring the Vigar at the very least, or pressuring the Darkness player, and attacking for 2 isn't really the best way to pressure them.
Okay, so it goes for the Meteor Shower play. So like you were saying earlier, it's kind of crazy that when you kill Vigar, you kind of like open up more lines for the Darkness deck, right? It's so like crazy.
We play right into the Darkness's hand. We didn't hold up our sharp sight. We saw the darkness in his hand, and we literally just gave him a free unit here.
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't develop a unit last turn, but then we were willing to sacrifice the same unit this turn. Like, if you're willing to just sacrifice a unit and throw it away, like, fuck it, just do it last turn where it's not costing you any mana, where it's basically free. Whereas now, it just costs you 2 actual mana because you don't even get to bank the sharp sight mana. So it's a very interesting play coming up from Pareto.
I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to play around last turn, because like Vigar is never going to summon on turn 4 against a deck that has challengers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, and we see the Lieutenant come down. There's no way to protect him. I'm not sure what we're thinking about here.
Probably just debating whether or not he should alt F4 shame concede.
So now we don't really. Oh, okay. Well, we just top decked the best card we possibly could have top decked.
Revo!
And he generates the only card that this card ever generates.
Wow.
Witness glory.
I really like the Daybreak package. I think it's literally like 1 card off from being like just absurd.
Yeah, it's nuts because it kind of just rewards you for playing cards, which is really funny. Any type of mechanic that just rewards you for playing cards is already gonna be like good, but then you added some like broken mechanics on top of these, like, oh, your reward is you stun the enemy, like the strongest enemy blocker. It's like, oh, well, that's really good. It's like, oh, okay, your reward is you activate every single Daybreak on your lineup again. It's like, oh, that's pretty good. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, your reward is you get this super broken Celestial card that's not even in your deck. It's like, yeah, I guess I will go ahead and play some of these Daybreak cards.
Yeah, we see a lot of Daybreak cards being played outside of Daybreak just because of how strong they can be.
Yeah.
Right.
Namely, Sunforger. I think he's the most played Daybreak unit.
Yep,
Next to Solari Soldier.
Right. Yeah, and Solari Priestess
Or
for
Priestess,
a while
I
there.
mean.
Yeah, because you just sit there and you're like, okay, sure, I'll play a 4-mana 5/4 premium stat line already. But because I decided to play it first, I get lifesteal. Like, come on, man. Like, of course I'll play this card. This card's just nuts.
Yeah.
Like, they gave you an already premium stat line, and then on top of that, they gave it a really good keyword.
It came with a
So,
plus.
I wonder if we want to try and proc Nightfall. No, we just go for the Leona. Okay.
Yeah, so here I would just shove Leona, and then your opponent has to do something, and if they don't, you just get to Morning Light. And then you're just kind of like winning the game at that point. Even through a Darkness, you just have double Sharp Sight, and your opponent can't have Darkness and Mini Morph. So they go, okay, here's a Darkness on your Ravoon. You say, okay, Sharp Sight, here's something else. And if they don't Darkness immediately, then at the very worst, you get to Morning Light still. Because what Morning Light does is even with Ravoon dying, the Daybreak happens when you cast. So it will still double cast this Morning Light, give their entire team +4/+4, and stun Viger and Senna here. Which is a really big deal, because even if you kill Ravoon in response, you're still going to be taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. This is literally lethal. This is literally lethal if we go for this Darkness here. Because we're going to stun both units here, and then on top of that, we just get to Sharp Sight the Leona or something, and we have lethal.
Wow.
I think we're going to be a little bit off of lethal. Because Leona goes up to 6 and the Priestess goes up to 4, so we're pushing...
Oh, does this not double cast the +2/+2?
No, it does not.
Oh, it just activates all other Nightfall effects. I thought it did... I thought it was like give +2/+2 and then Daybreak it gives another +2/+2.
No, that would make it extremely strong.
Yeah, that would make it an
Leona,
actual
like...
good card. But we still, at the end of all of that, we still got rid of Asida. We still got a really good Celestial unit. And we still put them all the way down to 5 HP. And this is where that 5 HP could have mattered, right? Like, if we would have played the 3-2 earlier, gotten that 5 in, like you said, boom, there you go. That's lethal. Even if, Roji, they went with your game plan of open attack with the 2-2, that puts them at 3 HP, boom, now all of a sudden they're dead to just an elusive attacker off of Twin Sisters.
True.
But oh, the sun coming down here to prevent the life steal, which is very nice.
Yeah, very big.
Oh, the Viger didn't level up because we killed the Ravon.
Right, we negated the Darkness from actually hitting, so the Viger wasn't able to level, so they weren't able to actually kill us this turn.
But it looks like here, the Veigar is gonna level.
Yeah, the Vigar level's unavoidable here.
Right, so something I like doing here is keeping Leona alive, playing your 2-drop just so the next turn you can slam down big-ass Dragon Girl. Because you don't even care if it dies, you just want to be able to stun the lifelink unit to make sure that the 4/5 lifelinker can't block you and gain life. Because they're at such a low life total, all you need is for them to be dead.
Ooh, that's a really good top deck. Another challenging unit to being able to pull everything out of the way.
Right, another good challenger unit that you're able to make sure you get all of your attackers you want to attack. Here's the Daybreak from the Eclipse Dragon. Again, stunning the 4/5. I'd almost be tempted to like Vile Feast my 4/5 here, just so you can keep the lifelink blocker. Because Rekindler is a 7-mana unit, right?
Yes, so the stun would go to the Rekindler.
Yeah, the stun would go to Rekindler, and then you get a 4/4 lifelink blocker, which is really, really, really good. Because Vile Feasting a 3/1 doesn't actually do anything. Because they still just get to pull what they want and do whatever they want. And at least this way, if they don't kill you on the attack, you get to gain the 4 from the lifelink unit.
So here I think Ferreto's thinking if he wants to pre-commit Sharp Sight onto the Vigar and try and get rid of him, or if he just sends the attack, waits for a response, and then does the Sharp Sight. I like this line a lot more. Being reactive in this game is how you win games. But we are going to be able to see either the Mini Morph or the Miscall here to punish the Sharp Sight.
Yep, LOR is definitely a reactor favored game, so letting your opponent block how they want, you being the reactor, is definitely going to be more beneficial to you. Unfortunately, we do see that there's many morphs and ways to keep the Viger alive, but we don't care about that, which I find very interesting. I guess we're just gonna
Life is sacred.
load up this missed call and pray to RNGesus that we hit either Viger or Rekindler.
We have a
And I wonder if that's what's
50%
gonna
chance
happen
of
here.
hitting here.
Let's see it.
Ah.
Well,
By that noise, I'm gonna assume it did not hit. Oh, dang. Unfortunate. That is a big, that's a Bud Light gamer ace if I've ever seen one for sure. But I personally probably would have just gone for the mini morph and not let my Viger die and had guaranteed lethal in 2 turns. But I'm also not a gamer like Kaylee. I probably will never do the things they succeed in. So. Kaylee probably hits those 20% on the daily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tentacles off the spectacles, please.
How many units died? There was 4 units that died. 2 of
Yeah,
them
it was,
were Vigar, so it's 50% chance.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 50%. Gotcha. I thought one more died. I thought,
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, it was just 4 units that died. Because it was just the spider and then
The
it was spider,
Concologist.
Viger, Concologist, right?
Yeah.
So we opt to go for the,
The Immortal Fire. Or the Destroyer for the Spell Shield.
yeah, I like Destroyer because the Spell Shield kind of gets around the big mini-morphs. The Elusive looks nice until you realize that your opponent's playing a 6-mana card that says, you know, fuck your Elusive.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a way to defeat Spell Shield right here in hand. So if we do just open up the Charger here, we get severely punished.
Yep, so that's why I kind of like leading off with the Daybreak unit at the very least, because it lets you see what your opponent's doing. Maybe you hit something like another Meteor Shower, and then now all of a sudden you get to remove the Lifelink unit, remove the 1/1, and then boom, you just had a humongous swing. So you don't even need to play Charger. Your opponent now has to kill something else, or your open attack just straight up kills them.
Let us take a peek at
So that's a very good play you could do. Or of course you could always just, you know, shove down the Celestials and say you don't have ping plus mini morph and go about your day.
So we definitely go for the Priestess here. Try and get him to use a little bit more mana. Or even just use that Darkness. Okay. So we got some pretty decent pools here, but
Light guide you, my brethren.
nothing that we're exactly wanting.
It takes Written of the Stars.
Yeah, so I like the Written Stars pick. I didn't get to see what the other options were, but I'm sure Written could never be bad because at the very least you're high rolling an Ace. Like you've already had a Leona die, so you're at least like, you know, a 2 out of 5 to hit an Ace. So almost 50% chance there, which is really good. Here we do see that they have the go hard off the Concologist. We're gonna see a mini morph here, but you still got to go for it anyways. I like pulling the 4/3 with your 3/1 and just calling it a day.
Yup, that seems like it would be pretty strong.
I think I also wouldn't even mind a pass here. You kind of have to think like, I guess because you don't have a way to kill Senna, passing is bad. If you had a sharp sight or could at least pretend to have sharp sight, a pass isn't too bad because you could pretend to be able to kill a Senna. But at the end of the day, we just opt to do the very safe play of attack here. We don't even have to mini morph because this you take 1 damage here.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I think we kind of had to use the 3/1 there because it's weak to multiple cards.
Yeah.
It's weak to Whale, it's weak to Vile, it's weak to Pokey. It's
Yep.
weak to practically every single card in
One
this
goes
deck.
down.
Yep, it just dies to too much at this point, so it's going to die to almost anything anyways. You might as well at least hope to get advantage from it. Whereas now all you did was you did 1 damage, and now your unit is just going to be dead to darkness, and the Senna is going to single-handedly take over this game.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
That says deal 2 to an enemy, but we know that's dealing like 8.
Yeah, that should most definitely not be dealing a lot more.
It is definitely not dealing 2 damage at this point in the game.
Yeah, no. 7. I got 7 over here.
Sick.
Turn it against
I
them.
have deal 7 points.
7 is
I wonder
a
if we
lot
see the
more.
Written in the Stars come out here. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yeah, I would like to see Written because if you hit you want to be able to play Asol, and if you've Written, if you Written and hit Zoe, you get to play it this turn and start leveling it up now, and it's all in 1 less action.
distance.
Whereas next turn you get to just land down the Asol, and you give your opponents again 1 less action to be able to actually deal with the Aurelian Soul. Unfortunately, because we do have this Senna, we do see that this game's going to be kind of just ran away with at this point. The best hit for the Acel is probably just like a Cosmic Rays to be able to just completely board wipe your opponent. The Destroyer, though, is a really, really good pickup because it taxes all of these mini-morphs, right? It also has Spell Shield. So your opponent obviously wants to Spell Shield the Acel or has to Spell Shield Acel, or else they get a leveled God Dragon. But if they do that, then now they're all of a sudden they're not able to mini-morph the Destroyer, and the Destroyer is going to be coming in slamming down for a bunch of damage.
Man, with the darkness costing 1 here, we can even pick off this elusive and mini-morph the Acel.
True.
And just completely take control of the game.
Yep. Because at this point you're Senna levels, so now you're going to get things like 0 mana darknesses and 0 mana go hards and stuff like that.
This is looking very scary for Pareto here. Him still having access to the 1 mini morph, so his other win con is just gone.
And if you think about it, you go all the way back to that turn 4 and missing out on that 5 damage, that could have been the difference maker. That could have been lethal. Whenever you left Gailey at 5, that 5 you missed on turn 4 by just completely passing could have been the complete difference maker.
Yeah, that's very true. He did leave I think it was 3 damage on the board when he could have swung in. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. We missed out on a total of 7 damage,
yeah,
I think.
Yep, up to 7, yeah.
Wow.
Which would have been lethal.
But it's all about living and learning, and all about card games. The important thing is to make sure that you learn from your experiences. That way, next time you're playing on the casters can't roast you for being a bad player.
Oh, we did hit some pretty good hits here. We got another Destroyer.
Oh, wow.
And an Empyrean, which very, very nice cards, very good pickups. But I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to beat the hand on Galley with the mini-morph, Wincon Be Gone, and the Stress Defense, and the also 0 mana delete a unit.
Right, I think because you can only play 1 unit a turn because of how expensive they are, and because Senna basically says generate a free kill spell, a 0 mana kill spell every turn, you're definitely just not going to be able to get the turn time.
Yeah, this darkness may as well be a 0 mana vengeance right now.
Yeah, it's a 0 mana vengeance.
0 mana vengeance.
I don't like this full attack here. We just trade our board for no reason. We just deal a little bit of damage, and usually a little bit of damage on units does not matter because we're in Demacia. So all of our removal is coming from our units in that one blow.
So I like how Gailey's just keeping this mini morph because he knows he has to be able to kill. What do we have to draw? Is this the last go hard? This is actually like the 3rd go hard needed.
Yeah, this is the 3rd go hard he's drawn.
Before he packs your bags.
Yep.
That is wild.
He is about to pack his bags.
So I see Pareto being forced to block here or being faced with lethal. We're just gonna get
Make the hurt
I can't think of the name. Darkness here, so instead, this is the only shot that Pareto has to actually stick one of these big units because you were able to get that darkness out of the hand. This is the only time you have to actually say, okay, I have the green light, I know you don't have a 0 mana kill spell, let me slam this Watcher down, or not Watcher, let me slam this Rhino down and just hope it's enough to get me there. Unfortunately, we know with Caster Vision that Gailey is still sandbagging a mini-morph, still sandbagging a Stress Defense, but the big thing is we actually get the setup off the field. Like, we actually get it out of play here, which is absolutely huge. We could have expended the last cards in our hand in the mini-morph plus Stress Defense, but that still would have put Senna down to lethal, I think, because I think Senna only had 1 HP.
She had 2 HP, so she still would have died.
2 HP. Okay, so yeah. So it would have been not very good to go down and use all of your cards in your hand for that. And now we kind of just get to slam Dragon Lieutenant. We can even do things like Elusive Dragon. Oh no. Oh no.
He got the
No! Oh, I'm now seeing what's happening on stream. That is an unbelievable pull. And that will be lethal. That's the game.
Yep, that is game over. All Gailey needed to do was not die to this open attack. He's clearly the better player. He's a gambling man. That's why he went for that.
Wow.
We thought he has bad luck because he missed on the 50-50 with the missed call, but it turns out he was just reserving the luck, reserving all of that spirit bomb energy for this Verizon 5G pick-up off of Concologist play.
Wow. What a way to end that game off of a generated pack your bags from a previously generated
Go hard. He generated
he
a go hard.
Top decked 2 turns in a row.
That was
How
ridiculous. He literally generated the go hard from Concheologist, top decked it twice in a row, and then generated the pack your bags.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Wow.
Unfortunately, guys, I have to go right now. I just got a call from my parents, and I actually have to go call them back to make sure everything's okay. But I'm gonna go do that, and it was really fun casting. I'll be here hopefully next week if you want me to cast with you next week.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, bro. You have a good one.
And then there were 2.
Yo, it's poppin',
Alright, so we have Bandletree versus Dragons. Or, I don't even know what to call this. Leona Acel.
It's literally
it feels
like Targon Leona, basically.
Yeah, it feels wrong to call it Dragons because Dragons is, like, in my opinion, miles better than Leona. Because you have, like, multiple win conditions with the actual Dragons.
True, and then especially with the new addition of the 3-mana spell that gives them Overwhelm, you're like, yo, brah, you got some nasty stuff you could do.
So, generally, I would say this is favored for Dragons, but we are on the Leona version. We do have the Dragons clutch, but it is not, we don't have as many Dragons to back it up. We don't have the Shyvana, we don't have, what is it, the other dragon, the 4-mana one?
Yeah.
The White Flame Protector.
Yeah, White Flame Protector.
And we're only running 1 clutch in this list as well. So more than likely, we're going to be using that just to draw. So the only real win condition that this deck has is the Acel and possibly the Zoe, but we only run 1 of Zoe, so I'm not considering that a win condition either. So we'll have to see how this goes. I think Bandletree should in general be favored due to the lack of win conditions and like the lack of overwhelm and just really allowing like putting threats on the board. Because Bandletree is able to just dump units on the board, not even care about the dragons because they're just gonna keep jumping because it literally doesn't even matter if they die.
True. I mean, and also, this deck, the Targon, basically Leona deck that we're calling it, it has no way to interact with Bandletree. So once they do finally trade all their units and get down to the late game, then they just play the Bandletree and win anyway. So yeah.
And the Bandletree is already halfway complete. We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regions already.
Yep.
And it's only
6.
turn 5.
Yep.
So
6 out of 10 already.
We could even just jam the Bandletree this turn and literally win in 2 turns. This game could be over on turn 7.
That's
just because
insane.
This deck doesn't win until like turn 11, turn 12. It's kind of a doomed matchup.
Wow.
Like, if any of these cards were... Ooh, and now we're gonna... Oh, we did generate an answer to the tree, but we just aloof it.
Oh, did we?
Blessed daylight.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
he had
generated a falling comet.
Oh, wow.
So I liked the passing from Ferretto because he was holding up 5 mana. Galley was holding up 5 mana, threatening the tree. Galley probably had the read that he generated the meteor there and just had to pray he didn't have an Acel or have an Eclipse in his hand. And he got lucky and was able to just toss that meteor out of the way. And now we're 70% away from winning. Next turn will literally be 80%. We have Demacia in our hand, so we might just win on the next Ferretto attack token.
Wow.
As long as we don't generate Demacia this next turn, we will be winning next turn.
That is literally insane, honestly. Like, this deck actually wins pretty fast if you allow it to, right? If you give it the window and you don't really have landmark removal, then you're just able to just completely take over the game.
Mm-hmm. Because you'll never be able to punch through as Demacia. You lack Overwhelm. You lack the ability to go as wide as Bandletree, as fast as they do. And luckily, we did generate an Ionia unit, which is one of the harder units to generate from Bandletree. What are we missing? We have Demacia in hand. So our last region is, I think, Bilgewater.
Oh. Yeah, you're probably right. Let me see.
Yeah, it's Bilgewater because we have not drawn Fizz.
Oh, yep.
So, yeah, we just win next turn. We do have the Morning Light from Ferretto. So maybe we see some sort of Morning Light combo next turn if we develop both the Sunhawks here. We might have like a crazy OTK that has happened to me before.
Oh my god, is he gonna stun everything? Hold on.
But more than likely, we'll just see the Mini-Morph come out next turn on the Leona and have no threat whatsoever of being stunned. So they're just going to have a really big board. We have 5 units. We block everything and we just win. Yeah, so he's going all in here on the Morning Light, but it gets incredibly hard countered by this Mini-Morph, unfortunately.
Does he top deck a Bastion? He
Nope.
does not.
He does not run Bastion, I do not believe.
Yikes.
Yeah, no Bastion in the list. So now this Morning Light is coming out, which is his only hope of winning, which would stun 4 units. Even still, I don't think that's enough. Because we only have 4, 8, 12, 16 damage through 4 stuns, and all we'd have to do is develop another unit, and we would be fine. But here we see the Mini-Morph, and now only 2 units get stunned, and we're literally fine. We win this turn.
Wow.
And we see the 1 mana Bilgewater unit in hand. We just override the Aloof.
Oh, we even stunned just to
Oh,
make
we have
sure.
the stun, yeah.
Wow. Just to be 100% sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this game is completely wrapped up here.
Wow. GG Galley.
So we could go ahead and look for our next match to watch. There's literally no lines that Ferretto has to be able to win this game.
Okay.
Looking at both their hands right now. Because this technically is lethal if Galley had no cards on the field. We only see, 8 damage come through. There's no 3 mana rally in the game. There's no overwhelm in this, and yep. We see the 10 out of 10, and that'll wrap things up.
Okay. You said you had easy to win at it, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Let me add the other person.
I pull easy to win. Oh, deep. Wild. So we see Ferretta. We see Easy to Win on the Teemo Swain yet again. And we see Hazard Gooey. I'm not sure I said that right. On deep. Do you have Hazard added?
I'm trying to add them right now.
Okay.
I think in the meantime,
So we see a Pokesick coming out onto the Dredger, trying to push a little bit of board control here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have double Teemo in hand, which will be good to be able to block this Abyssal Eye here for later. We are heading into turn 7, so next turn we'll be able to drop the Leviathan and possibly Moonglow it. Just to be able to protect it from everything.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Great! My foot! Things ain't like they used to be.
We are deep now, so but we do have an elusive blocker. That is very good for us on the side of Easy to Win. We see Easy running out of cards in his hand. We're able to stun the elusive unit here, so we can go ahead and punch through with Teemo if we would like. And I think we're going to see a full swing come out here. Just to go ahead and wipe the board, make sure everything looks pretty for us for whenever we want to jam this Leviathan.
Never seen a contraption like this before.
And yeah, things are looking pretty good for Easy to Win here. Just like his name, it is easy to win.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. He's you know, he's not at low health, which is what this deck wants to be doing. Swain is kind of out of the kind of not here right now. I mean, also
He'll be showing up
Leviathan.
next turn.
That's true.
Not sure about that jettison there. I guess we're just trying to reach Nautilus or Maokai. But yeah, us having this elusive blocker, and being able to drop Leviathan Swain with pretty much no punish other than this Bone Skewer, which Bone Skewer doesn't kill either of those I called Leviathan champion. Doesn't kill either of those cards. Oh my god, 3 puff caps.
Wow, he took 3 for drawing a card.
I think that's probably the best card we could have drawn, next to Nautilus. What did we hit? A Devour here. That's not exactly what we want, I don't think.
More for my collection.
Unsure why we... Oh, we threw all those puff caps in his deck because he only has 7 cards left. So every card he draws is going to be dealing 1 to 2 damage.
Wow.
Possibly more. So next, we're putting him down to 9. We're going to be able to possibly summon the Swain, but that gets immediately eaten by the Devour Fish. Looks like we're gonna go ahead and eat the Lecturing Yordle, just so we don't take pretty much 4 damage from him directly because of how little cards we have in the deck. Every puff cap is just gonna be doing... Each puff cap in the deck is just gonna be putting in an unbelievable amount of work.
Oh my gosh, double Leviathan is...
Double Leviathan
got
is
me shook.
GG. I mean, we honestly could just attack here with both Leviathans and the game would pretty much be over. Like if we full swing here, there isn't any punish to full swinging here. Because I guess we don't have to full swing. We can just pass and Just win. If he top decks 2 shrooms,
The game's
which
over.
he's bound to top deck at least 1. Oh, and that's the game, just like that.
Oh,
So we didn't even need to attack. Yeah, attacking I think was the only way to be able to lose that match. But it's those puff caps get very, very intimidating whenever you only have 4 cards in your deck and they're throwing 3 puff caps into your deck. It's just
yeah.
may as well be direct face damage at that point.
I mean, pretty much, because every card you draw is gonna do at least 1 damage.
Yeah, so that 1 mana Teemo spell was pretty much a 1 mana deal 5 to your face. Burst speed.
Burst speed 5 damage.
Okay, so that was the last round of that. Easy to win. Picking up that series. Gonna go face Galley in the... is that the quarterfinals?
Let me see.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's quarterfinals right there.
Alright, now we can go watch either Flock and Leo or Maytree and Isolot. I know I have Maytree added.
Let me see. I think I might have Isolot. One sec.
Oh, maybe I don't have Maytree added.
No, I don't have Isolot. Let me see. Yeah, I can add Isolot right now.
I do have Maytree added, but he is currently not online. Let me see if I have... I don't think I have either of these people added. Oh, I have Isolot added.
Is he offline too?
No, he's not in game though, so...
Hold on, let me see something. Let me reload.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there's a client issue and they're just having to relog.
Yeah, I'm about to check the chat.
Otherwise, we could just go watch the Galley versus Easy to Win, even though that's mainly who we've been watching tonight, those 2 players.
Right? I feel like we've been watching Easy to Win since like the first game.
Yeah.
It's like we picked who was gonna win. Jeez.
Easy to win, easy to pick.
Easy. I mean, I just love his name, right? It says my opponent disconnecting game. Oh.
Well, that's not good. I could have sworn I had Flock added, but I guess I don't.
Okay. Okay, Isolot said that Maytree is offline.
Yep, I'm getting the same thing over here. I mean, I guess we have to watch Easy to Win and Galley. Because I don't have Flock or Leo Gentle added. And the only other match that that's being played right now is Easy to Win in Galley.
Yeah, I set up the spectate for Galley just now, but
Okay.
I'm still dealing with this. I think this is probably gonna end up being a dispute.
I think they're probably in ban phase right now.
Okay. Let me see.
Very unsure. How's it going? Is this a tournament you organized? It is a tournament we the people organized, yes. It is every Tuesday, and there is a nice little prize pool. And it's single elimination. It's a lot of fun to get some practice in each week. It's a great tournament. Alright, it looks like we have loaded into the game. We have Timo Swain versus Senna Vigar. So my scrim partner, maybe next time, says this is really favored for darkness, but I'm not too sure how true that is because it does. This Timo Swain does run a lot of removal for Vigar and the things that they play. But on the same time, the same token, Senna Vigar also runs an incredibly amount of removal for the only threats in the deck are Leviathan and Swain, like realistically, and we just, you know, mini morph it or throw a humongous darkness at it. So this match will be pretty interesting to watch.
Loyalty through conquest.
Okay.
Alright, so we should just see both boards developing. Just double stilted Robe Maker coming out from Galley here, so we have the 1 mana deal 2s right now, which is pretty good. 1 mana Mystic Shot, always good to have.
That is very true. I'm sorry, I had to deal with the dispute real quick. But let me see this game. Oh, we got Darkness versus Swain Timo, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I think Easy to Win is trying to decide if he wants to try and push damage here or just pass. And Easy to Win is running one of Dark Bulb Acolyte, which is very interesting. I've played against him a lot on ladder, and he's like one of the only people that run the Dark Bulb. I think the Dark Bulb is pretty interesting, just as another way to add, like, you get a unit and you get removal at the same time, which is very good for decks that run Flock. Being able to just deal any amount of damage to a unit and then clean it up with the Flock feels really nice on the side of Easy to Win. And I imagine we're going to see a Flock come out here just to clean up this Senna.
Yeah. I mean, he has a lot of Flocks in hand.
Yeah. We have a lot of damage in our hand right now. We even have the Spider Flock for if they summon another Senna.
Yeah.
Or if they summon a Vigar, we can just go ahead and get rid of that threat.
Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing that.
We also
now.
have the Culling Strike. Okay. This is a little bit of an aggressive play from Easy to Win, realizing that he's practically tapped out of everything that he can do this turn. So we're going to try and push some more tempo here and clean up your board, level up my Swain, and next turn I imagine we see an open attack just to go ahead and push 6 or 7 damage. But the Biofeast here is going to prevent just a little bit of that damage, so we probably will not see an open attack anymore. We top deck another Spider, so we might go very aggressive here and play the Spider, pushing all this momentum and tempo, threatening. Oh, he doesn't choose to summon the Ixtali Sentinel. Very interesting play here.
Oh wow! You choose just to take the swing to the face.
So yeah, we're taking 7 from Swain alone, followed up by 4 more damage here, putting him down to 9. And I imagine we're gonna see the Darkness into Flock, like I was saying earlier. Just another way to deal any amount of damage while keeping our tempo up. We're developing a 2/2, very strong unit, and it also generates us this removal. It's a very strong card in this deck, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. It is a pretty strong card because it gives you the damage that you need for fluff. And then on top of that, I mean, if the Dark Bulb stays around for a little bit, you know, starts gaining attack, and that can matter.
Especially with hits from the Concologist. I've seen this guy get up to like 8 damage before and smack me for 8 because I let it get out of control, and it was very, very scary.
Wow, that's crazy.
And honestly, we can just summon the next Leviathan and just kind of win the game. We're not in a losing position whatsoever from easy to win. We have to, like, the second Leviathan here puts them on a very nasty clock. I like this open attack a lot. Because developing, we actually only get punished.
There's the mini morph.
Oh, and yeah, we top deck a mini morph. That's very good for Galley, but we do see the second Leviathan here, and it is going to be a clean pickup here. I think with the Ixtali coming out, we might have an answer, depending on what we top deck.
Ooh, the Scorched Earth.
I can't imagine the Ixtali is going to make a huge impact next round. Oh, that's good.
It might be too
Oh,
late,
we
right?
used the Scorched here, never mind.
The living and the dead.
You think it's a little too late for Ixtali?
Oh no, we definitely need to do the Ixtali here. But will it be enough to save the game? I'm not sure. Oh, and the Pokey Stick to deny the Life Seal. I did not even think about that. Easy to win here is representing his name, because it is just so easy to win for him.
Wow.
That's gonna be the game. There's no cards Galley has to clean up this or heal.
Wow.
That
GG
is
to
nuts.
win. Wow. I didn't even see. I also didn't see that line either. But it does make sense because he's just like, he just had to stop the healing on that round to just take it, right?
He is on a roll right now. Ooh, and this is a terrible matchup for Darkness. Let me see how many resolve we're on. We're on 2 resolve, and we're on 4 rally.
Wow.
And every card in our deck is here to beat Darkness.
Wow.
And this hand is phenomenal.
He appeared.
We get the bank on 2, into Misfortune, into Poppy. That is incredibly strong.
Oh wow. Yeah, I see his hand now. Wow.
You don't understand.
So we just take this every time, right?
We clean up this guy right here. We can summon the Misfortune for free. They usually don't have a punish for 3 mana. They don't have that many 3 mana units. And we get to push free 1 damage here, which is nice. And we get to pick off his unit. We would like to start seeing a scout appear. And he does see both the sharp sights.
Oh wow. He actually sees both sharp sights there. That's nuts.
Oh, and we top deck a rally.
Oh.
This is looking really good for easy to win here. Because we go Poppy into open attack, and we're out of the range of Darkness. Oh wait, Darkness does 3 right now, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is. This next turn is gonna be 4.
Oh, and we got the Valor here. I don't think we go for it, as our champions will die.
Yeah.
And this open attack is pushing 10 damage. That's a lot.
Wow, that's so much damage already. On top of us having a rally here. Like, it's already looking crazy. for Galley already.
This Vile piece is interesting. I guess we're just wanting another blocker just in case he does have the rally.
She does indeed have him.
This rally can get punished by this prank if it hits the unpranked sharp sight.
Oh,
and
it does.
And that's a dead misfortune.
Wow.
Fortunately, we'll be able to summon the bird still. Oh wait, we have another misfortune in our hand. That wasn't a make it rain.
I thought it was a make it rain too. Oh wow.
Oh wow. This is so strong. Poppy is leveling up next attack. We don't have a way to generate darkness this turn and play it. So he is in a caught between a rock and a hard place. Hoping to top deck a Dark Bulb. Oh, we top deck a Senna. Strong, but not strong enough.
It's a good thing you're cute.
We could even use the Poppy spell. Oh, I like this, yes.
Wow.
I like using the Poppy spell here. Because with the open attack, we have lethal.
Yeah. We sealed the game.
But we do see the stress defense in Galley's hand. We know for a fact he's top decking Senna. So we have to say, kill your bodyguard here and have an answer. And we can even just sharp sight here for lethal, I believe. Yep, that's exact game.
Oh wow. Because of the impact. Oh wow.
We had the 3 extra damage from the impact, and that's exactly enough to end the game.
Wow.
Plus the 1 damage from the misfortune.
That
So
game was
strong.
so fast.
That was the quick 2-0. That was so fast.
Wow, he just like straight up 2-0 darkness. Like wow. That was really fast.
And that is why I will never bring darkness to a tournament. I think the deck is too easy to beat. Like the games that darkness does draw well, you know, it draws well and it will kick your ass, but there's just so many times where it doesn't draw exactly what you need and it falls up short to a lot of decks, namely Rally, and it's just kind of been insane.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy. I mean, Scouts with Poppy has always been a deck, but I haven't seen it like played like that, and it just being played well into a matchup like Darkness, it makes the deck look really, really strong, right?
He only summoned 3 units that game. He summoned the Cythria, he summoned the Misfortune, and he summons Poppy. That's literally it.
Jeez. Wow, that's insane, actually. And that's and that I don't know, that matchup. Well, it's obviously favored for Scouts, right? Because they had rallies. Yeah. But it just, I don't know. It just seems like it's a little closer. But the way Easy to Win played it just now is just like, wow. Okay. I don't know.
It generally shouldn't be close. It should always look like that or better. Okay. Because of how favored it is for rally lists. Alright. I see Isolot's still on, but he's away. And it looks like the tournament's kind of being held up from the Maitri and the Isolot game. Unsure what we do from here.
Yeah, I'm gonna push Isolot ahead because he's been waiting for Maitri for a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, we have to wait for Maitri and Isolot to finish so Flock can play the winner of that match, and then
Oh no, I'm gonna
the
push.
winner of.
I'm gonna push Icelot ahead because they were waiting for Matri for a little bit. I think it was like 25 minutes or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's way too long of a wait time.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna push Icelot ahead because they've been waiting since like 10:17.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big oofer.
I wanted to give them. I didn't want to DQ because there are issues with the client, but
But at this point, Matri would have said something in the chat and to you if there was something going on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm just gonna push Icelot ahead. So we got Icelot versus Flock. Let me try to add Flock right now.
Okay. Because I do have Icelot.
I'm waiting for Flock to add me. They're probably in ban phase right now because I literally just did it. Okay. Alright, Flock just added me. What happened?
Okay, looks like they're in ban phase, so let me go ahead and start spectating Icelot.
Oh, I gotta fix this. I forgot that this scene wasn't working. I gotta fix because I forgot Mo's not here anymore.
Oh man, yeah. There's two of us in each scene.
Yeah, I gotta fix the tournament scene. Don't worry about it.
Easy to win, third finals in a row, bro. You're just cracked. I don't know what to tell you.
Gee, are you the new Flock? Oh my god, we gotta rename the tournament.
Icelot's hand here might just say GG. Because this matchup is literally, did you level up Sejuani on 6? And we have 4 procs in our hand.
Wow. Yeah, I see his hand, wow.
So all we have to do is just get one more attack to go through, and we just win. I imagine we do a warning shot pass here. Alright, I guess we do Betty Croker. Or no, wait, I'm not. We do the merchant, not Croker. Into an open attack. Yep. Wow. Yeah, this game is. If we draw Sejuani, we can go to the next game.
I don't need
Wow, it's like that?
It's literally like that. This matchup is. If you level up the champions on curve in this matchup and you draw them, so bad for the silver action player.
Yikes! It's just okay. Leveled them up. All right, GG. Yikes!
We're already at 4, and we have 5 in our hands. If we ever need to. Wow. We're getting some cheap units.
Must be nice living off stolen coin.
We have the Warlord Palace now.
Now we're also threatening. Oh my god. We're threatening. How much damage is this? 8 damage on open while picking off the action.
Wow.
This will activate the Radiant Guardian, which is very good for Flock. And we just saw the top deck Sivir. So if Icelot doesn't draw a Sejuani next turn, it could start to turn in favor of Flock very easily. Up until turn 9, whenever we drop this Field of Rush.
Okay.
We do have a Grifter in our hand, so it'll practically tell us if we're drawing Sejuani next turn or not. And if we do wind up nabbing and get the warning shot, then it just makes us kind of seals the deal. Where if we do draw a Sejuani, it will be incredibly hard for Flock to recover from this. So I think Flock is trying to decide if he wants to single here to try and mitigate some damage on the Hunter, or if he's okay with just taking 8 damage and summoning the Guardian and healing 8 from her. So we don't have a Sejuani on top of our deck. We do get the warning shot though. Oh my god, we top deck our other late game piece. This is looking, I'd say, it's still fairly good for Isolot. This Radiant Guardian is good, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough to rescue the whole entire game.
I mean, it's not over and out yet for a Flock though, right? He still
No,
has some,
definitely not.
Some tricks. Especially
He has
with
a
the
lot of
Sivir.
wiggle room, for sure, because we have not drawn Sejuani. That's like the best hit. If we didn't have Radiant Guardian and we hit space, that was the best hit. But we did hit the 2 targets we were looking for. So I imagine we see the Hunter block the Guardian just to try and push as much damage onto her as possible. And we're gonna try and kill the Action with the Grifter, but we do see the Shapestone in hand, so we know that's never gonna work. At this point, Isolot is holding out until turn 9. If he can make it to turn 9, he's looking incredibly good. But right now, Flock is looking pretty strong with this rally in his hand. Like, if we do not get a Sejuani on the board in the next turn, Flock could very easily win this game. Especially if he draws an Absolver here with this relic power. What options do we have here?
So we got Preservarium, Bruiser, and Bright Steel Protector.
None of those we want. I think this is a skip from Flock.
The world won't save itself, you know.
Yep, he skipped. Or it looked like he skipped on my end, but he took the Bright Steel.
Okay. Probably to try and mitigate loss against a Sejuani top deck.
Oh, Sejuani top deck.
And that's exactly what we top decked here. I imagine we replaced the Palace. I don't think we care about the Palace at all. We don't have any buffs on our deck, and we don't want to wait 4 more turns to draw 1. I'd rather just have a full board with a Sejuani. Yep.
There it is. So now this is just a really, really, really difficult game now, right?
Yep. We see the warning shot in his hand, so we know anything we try to do is just going to be negated. We're still going to pool here with the Sejuani just to give to ice the whole board, and we can just push free damage while also dealing free damage to his units that are going to block.
Wow. Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. That this is literally the whole, basically the whole game is put into like stasis almost, because now he has to play around this Sejuani.
This is an interesting pool.
I will end this here.
Hey,
I don't like this pool because it kind of forces us. It might force us to use the warning shot here if we reap us. Okay, never mind. I don't like putting damage on the Sejuani at all. That just makes it 1 buff away from, like, the single combat right here. Could just take out the Sejuani, but we don't go for it. we don't get punished by anything by singling there.
Oh, because Sejuani proc that turn already. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a misplay from Flock for sure. No, like, unless he's playing around his own nabbed cards, which is wrong. Because we see all the cards that he's nabbed already.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
We're definitely supposed to single combat the Sejuani there. I really don't like putting damage on the Sejuani at all.
This pay by the hour.
Because, like, even if we ice the board here and we, like, try to block with Sejuani, we get completely blown out by this repost. And we also see that he has a single a sharp sight as well. So once we ice the board, he can just repost, single combat, and it's pretty bad for him. But we do have Feel the Rush for turn 9, which will give us another 10/10 Sejuani, which is kind of nuts.
Blood or gold.
Silver is leveling.
My share.
Yeah, I think you're right. This repost plus sharp sight is really gonna just like completely decide the game, right? Because whenever those two basically get on Sejuani.
Well, since we do have the Feel the Rush, we have a lot more wiggle room than we normally would. Versus if we like didn't have a Sejuani in our hand. Because like this Feel the Rush may as well be a Sejuani, right? True. A 10/10 Sejuani.
True.
Which is incredibly hard for Flock to deal with already, on top of the warning shot that we do see in hand. So Flock is trying to decide if he wants to get this warning shot out of his hand now, and possibly risk losing the Make It Rain, but I don't think we don't. With caster vision, we know he can't get punished by this play.
Yeah,
he might be also considering trying to kill the GP, because GP is another threat. He is the game finisher, and Sejuani is just the game staller.
Mm-hmm. True.
In and out.
And here, I think we just keep giving up our board. We don't really care about our board right now. We just want to clear board space to feel the rush.
Yeah, pretty much. We just let it go.
Like yeah, we're fine. We don't care. We have feel the rush now.
Yeah, we cleared board space for it.
I don't like summoning Monkey Idol here.
Yeah.
Because it clogs up our board space, so we can't feel the rush. Isolot might be assuming he's just gonna let this Sejuani die, which totally reasonable.
I love to be kept waiting.
Oh, so he could just fill the rush next turn anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. There it is.
I think we just say okay.
Oh.
No. Alright, we're gonna make him have the answer here.
Mm-hmm. That is smart.
Which is also good, because it gets out an answer for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this Feel the Rush is gonna be massive, because we're gonna have the GPs dealing... Oh, we still don't have enough space.
Yeah, because of Monkey.
We have to use this warning shot here, and I guess we're just gonna go for the 1000 damage gameplay. I didn't like summoning the Monkey Idol there.
Oh, that concerns.
I think it gives our opponents way too many outs. not being able to like develop a Sejuani here. Like if he draws a Concert, oh, he drew Concerted.
Yep, he definitely.
Like, that's
drew
such a
Concerted.
blowout now. Isolot misplaying here with this Monkey Idol. Like Monkey Idol is just not a good card in this deck. And like Doey is saying here, as soon as I dropped a idol from the list, I made Masters.
Yeah, I don't think him playing Monkey Idol was good there. I don't think Monkey Idol is like a terrible card in this list, but I don't think it was good there, because then he would have had space to just straight up open field the rush, right?
And we would have had a 10-10 GP, a 10-10 Sejuani. That right there is game based on their health totals. Because GP is actually like a 13-13 because his overwhelm and the explosion, which is like ridiculous. And then, so everything is taking like, is pretty much at 0 health, and we're just attacking through for 20 damage, and it wasn't looking good for Flock. But now Flock has an out. Flock can win. Oh, this bird kills Sivir here with the double damage.
Yeah.
Letting this monkey strike for 6 damage is a lot. See, next turn we can summon a GP, and we are going to be dealing a lot of damage. But yeah, I like Flock going extremely wide here, and he's probably just going to open attack to play around another Sejuani. And that's going to force force Isolot to block with everything, because this is, I don't even want to do the math, but a lot. 14 damage right here.
Yeah, he's smacking him. So right here, we just have to block the biggest things, right?
Yeah. We block Sivir. We cannot go to 1. We lose to any buff, any rally. Absolver. We have to give up the Dreadway here. I guess we don't have to give it up, but assuming they have a buff, which Isolot should be. Oh, he doesn't have a buff. We just go ahead and get to clear something. And now we get to drop this Feel the Rush.
Yeah, we just go for it.
Finally. Because like we're in the same exact position that we were 2 turns ago. We just did it 2 turns later and maybe let our opponent win with an Absolver or Rally. Right?
True, we gave them an out.
Yeah, at this point there's nothing Flock can do to win the game. It's actually just over. Especially with the Dreadway. If he doesn't, like, even if he draws an answer to the Dreadway next turn, we have the answer, right?
True.
We have GP attacking for 28 damage by himself. Which, why does that happen?
GP is attacking for
26, my bad.
26 damage, by the way.
58 damage on the stack.
Excuse me?
GP's spell, deal 6 to all enemies and the Nexus, you know. Balance card, by the way. Nice board, Omega lol.
Wow.
We even could have seen, like, we wanted to go for mega overkill. We could have just like warning shotted, just to ice the board and allow Dreadway to punch through for 8 as well. But that's just supreme overkill. That doesn't need to happen. All right, and with that, what is this? Lurk versus Sivir Action. So I think Sivir Action is generally favored because we do have the quick attacks. we don't really care about our opponent's attack until the later game, but usually we are able to apply enough pressure with the action with Sivir that Lurk has to keep blocking, especially if we wind up drawing a rally whenever they tap out. It's can look pretty good for Sivir action, but on the flip side, if Lurk high rolls, they lurk Rek'Sai on 1, they lurk Pyke on 2 with the Snapjaw. It could easily be a win for Iceland. Oh. So we aren't high rolling. That's for sure.
The big oof.
We can never throw Snapjaw here. It will just die to Action, and it gives him a free proc, and he can keep attacking. We have to go do the Chronomancer so he cannot attack at all. He runs a Ruthless Predator? What?
Yeah, I guess it's to level up Rek'Sai faster, but I don't really like it.
That card is troll, and he runs Deny. And he runs Bone Skewer.
Oh my.
Wow. He runs one of Bone Skewer, one of Deny.
I mean, at least he has all three of those spells in hand, right?
It is currently 1-0. In favor of Isolot. So what? I didn't see those predict options. He clicked way too fast for me.
Oh, I think he clicked the I want to say it was the what's the name of this card? I forgot. The hatching.
Yeah, we'll just see next turn.
I think it's I think he chose the hatching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was watching your stream.
I'm not sure I wanted to attack with the other 2/3 there, because if we keep the other 2/3 back, we can still threaten the block's action, make him use a spell there.
Oh, it looks like he actually skipped.
Okay, skipping is pretty bold. So now we can safely Snapjaw, assuming we're gonna hit Lurk. We haven't hit a champion yet, so we're low rolling pretty hard on the Lurk side.
True. Yeah, we're missing our champions. We need Pyke needs to make an appearance. Rek'Sai needs to also make an appearance here. So we're kind of in trouble.
But this game can literally flip on a dime. We lurk Rek'Sai once, we lurk Pyke once, and we're back in the game.
It's insane with this deck sometimes. Like sometimes you just see Pyke on top and you're just like, oh, I guess I'm just winning now, right?
Yup. Just missing a champion yet again. Even if we draw a Rek'Sai, like we have the +2 Ruthless Predator, so right now Rek'Sai is a 5 damage? Or no, 6 damage?
Yeah, Rek'Sai.
So she's actually at 8, she's actually at 9. So I mean, if we draw a Rek'Sai, we potentially level her up if we don't miss Lurk one more time.
Okay, we see the action level up here.
Do we want to level up action here? I guess we want to draw a card because our hand is kind of abysmal. We want to find a Sivir.
You ask, you shall receive.
And we find a Sivir. That's a very good. So now we're actually applying pressure here. Oh, we have a Rek'Sai on top. So now we know for a fact we'll be able to level up Rek'Sai next turn.
True.
But we see the concerted and the repost in Flock's hand, which is the best answers for Rek'Sai.
But we also
we
also see the deny in Isolot's hand, right?
Oh yeah, I forget he's running this card.
I know,
because nobody plays that card in Lurk.
I know. It's about to come in clutch right here because I think it's a 1-of, right?
Yes, it is a 1 of deny.
Oh wow.
If we take this damage, Flock is free to rally here, forcing us to block.
I think we're forced to block, no? Oh wow.
So he's gonna take the greedy line and say, okay, I'm gonna kill you next turn with Rek'Sai. I wouldn't be too surprised if we maybe see no, like Bone Skewer is such a bad card.
No, we can't bone skewer. We need that Rek'Sai. We need
Yeah, I was about to say like,
that
oh, we could
Rek'Sai.
like Bone Skewer to kill the action and
No,
only take 5, but like
no, it's not even worth.
it's not worth.
We need that Rek'Sai. That Rek'Sai is gonna
Oh,
win us the game. Oh, wait,
he
Flock
does
didn't go
rally
for it.
there. All right, yeah, we drop Rek'Sai here and just say have an answer or die. We see he does have the answer, but we also have the answer to his answer.
Literally, we had the
So
perfect answer for his answer.
now we're just gonna deny that, and we might just. I think we just win.
Yeah, because then we pull with Rek'Sai, we level her up, and then we also are attacking wide here. Yeah, I think this is the W.
Yeah, we pull to the Snapjaw. We don't pull to Rek'Sai. We pull to the Snapjaw. Well, no, I guess the Snapjaw is representing way more damage. Because if we pull to Rek'Sai, they only block 3. Yeah, never mind. This has to be right.
Holy crap, Rek'Sai is
And
13, by the way.
yeah, maybe Isolot is just, he knows something that we don't. Ruthless Predator's actually OP. You only need to draw 1 champion, and you just win. There's
Literally, look at what happened. He lurked Rek'Sai 1 time and won the game.
That's what I was saying. All you hit 1 champion in this deck, and the whole game is on its side.
Wow, that's nuts.
Flock is just roping here, just staring at the inevitable.
Yeah, I think
wishing he could do something about it.
I think Flock should have definitely taken that rally, right? But
yeah, if he took that rally, we're forcing him to at least get rid of one more thing. I think we're still dead either way.
Oh, really? Are we still dead there? Holy.
Yeah, we're dead through Rek'Sai attack plus 1 creature getting through. And he was 4 wide, and we would have been 3 wide, which still is not enough. Him having the deny for the concerted strike was really the key point. Now we get to move on to finals.
Alright. We get to see the finals. Easy to win versus Isolot. So we know at this point, I think we know Easy to Win's lineup, right? we basically handpicked him from the beginning.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how do you feel about Isolot's lineup going into it?
I'm not sure what Lurk's matchup tables look like.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact
pretty
same.
sure Lurk literally loses to itself.
I was just want to say the exact same. I'm not really too sure about Lurk into everything else, but I think that Easy to Win, especially with the scouts, I think it's gonna be really nasty into that deck.
Yeah, the scout list will definitely beat up on Lurk. I think Teemo Swain should do fairly well into it because of their amount of removal.
True.
And Darkness, I don't think is good into Lurk. Just from like thinking about how the decks work, right? This will be pretty interesting to see. I am definitely excited to watch it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So now, right now we're just waiting on Isolot to. I think we're waiting on either Easy to Win or Isolot to check in, and then we're gonna get into the game.
And I know GP Sedge is, in my opinion, it's really favored against Darkness. And I think it's also pretty okay into, was it Teemo Swain? But it's definitely weak into the rally deck. So we have like a pretty good matchup here coming up.
Okay. Okay, it looks like Easy to Win just got online. We also have the third place match going on as well. It's Gailey versus Flock.
Alright. Donut says GP Sedge beats Teemo Swain usually. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, so
Alright, looks like they finally got in game, so let's go ahead. I got Easy to Win.
Okay.
So I think Easy to Win's weak point is going to be Darkness.
True. Because that's where Lurk could squeeze it in, right?
Yeah, Lurk can squeeze it in for sure, and GP Sedge will definitely beat up on it. And the rally will, yeah, should be pretty good into it. I'm not sure actually what Isolot's third deck is, but assuming it's something obnoxious because it got banned.
Watch it be Shell Folk or something.
Yeah, so Easy to Win is probably going to get his Poppy banned, I think. Oh, yeah, so Isolot's third deck is Rally, like I assumed.
Yep.
And Easy to Win, of course, wants to play in the Poppy Zed because he did bring Teemo Swain. This deck was literally created for Poppy Zed.
It's created to literally just counter the hell out of this deck, right?
Yes. And it's, I mean, it's only, in my opinion, it's only good if it draws perfectly against us. Because we have so many protection tools still in Zed Poppy. Like, Ranger's Resolve blows this matchup out of the water. It's insane how good it is against this. And like Twin isn't really strong against most of our cards as well. The only like really scary card in this deck is Flock.
True, because that basically just kills whatever it's on.
Because if something is damaged, it's already at like 2 or 1 health, and then any of our protection spells don't beat it unless we use another protection spell. And it's usually not worth it at that point. Scorched Earth is a pain as well. He's only on 1 Scorched Earth, so I'm considering it a non-card at this point. Because if you run a one of, like, one, you never play around a one of, and 2, it's only a one of. So, you know, once they use it, you no longer have to worry about it. It's like, okay, their actual hard removal is gone. They only have damage-based removal now.
That's true. So here we see the Blight Steel Protector coming out to protect
To the world below.
Isolot's hand isn't the greatest. We don't have a champion, which, I mean, it's how we win like any matchup, is a champion. We do see Easy to Win has the answer to a 1 health unit, but you know, we also have the answers to a 1 damage ping. We have double sharp sight and the twin. Oh my gosh, and we top deck the perfect counter to 1 damage pings, and we might just have to scorch this young witch, like, which is incredibly wrong. You don't think we can ever scorch a young witch. Like, we're saving a scorched for a poppy for sure. I imagine we see just the rangers come out. We can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thinking if he wants to summon the bird or not. I don't think we do. Oh, and here comes that Dark Bulb generating that 2 damage, 3 mana. I like this other Scorched pickup. That's nice. Now we have 2.
Ooh,
Ooh, Equinox. That's a big pull.
Yeah, it definitely is. Ooh, but he draws Zed here.
Yeah, and we see he has no more pings except for this Dark Bulb. So he's gonna have to spend 5 mana to just deal damage to the Zed, which we won't be able to kill him this turn because that damage isn't going to last on him.
True.
And we have to try and answer him now because he's just gonna open attack, and he already gets value from Zed from 1 attack. So this is gonna get completely blown out. These Scorched are bricked in his hand. He has 2 8-drops in his hand, which is just not what you want to see. And then Swain doesn't really do anything.
So what's the best top deck here? Poppy, right? Oh.
A Rally. A Rally is our best top deck.
Oh, okay.
On the side of Isolot. And Easy to Win draws another 8-drop, which is not what you want to see against a Rally deck. I imagine we just see an open attack here, like we have nothing to do on the side of Isolot.
So do
we definitely aren't using Ghost here.
So do we really have to Scorched Earth?
We are never gonna Scorched Earth a 1/1. Oh, we're going for it. We're gonna save 1 damage.
Yeah.
No? Never mind.
He might be thinking about it because if he has a rally here, then he's just like...
He's just kind of dead if he does have a rally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna play into it. Funny enough, Isolot does not have a rally here.
Oh my god, and he fully taps out saying, show me the rally and I'll let you have the win.
Really?
Calls the bluff.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right, he calls the bluff. Oh, he top decks the Nopify here though.
Could you move your cursor, by the way? You're hovering over the Zed.
Pledge of perish.
Is that on my side? What's going on here?
No, that was on my side.
Okay. So like we don't, our health is a resource in this matchup. We can honestly just eat the Swain attack. We're never gonna block here because we run into Scorched, we run into Flock. If we really don't want to take 6 damage here from Swain, we'll Sharp Sight on the bird. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna see here. I don't think we care about Swain damage, but since we don't have a rally, we don't have a definitive way to just end the game yet. We do pick up a Flock here, and that could be pretty good.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
We can go ahead and clean up this Young Witch that's been on the board for a while. We don't want to use 3 mana to kill a 2 mana unit. It's just so tempo negative. But we're gonna see the Nopify come out and just straight up deny that.
Oh, but we got the Equinox backup though.
I think at this point we're gonna have to cash in that Equinox. Probably on the Young Witch or the Shadow Assassin. I imagine the Young Witch just because of the quick attack and the +1 value.
Yeah, that can add up. And if he draws a rally, I mean, he knows he doesn't have it now, right? But if he draws a rally, then it's gonna be pretty crazy. So I don't think he can let it keep gaining value. So I'm just wondering what Easy to Win is thinking about here. He's probably thinking about if he wants the Equinox or not.
And he's just gonna rip the Scorch, and I assume use an Equinox here on the 2/1. Yep, there it is. If we do top deck a rally from Isolot, we win on the spot. Because we can Ghost Zed and we will just win. We did make it to turn 8, so now these 8 drops are doing something. I guess he's hoping to draw a rally here with this.
Oh, Poppy?
Oh, we drew a Poppy. That's really good for us. Do we want to save this? I don't think we want to save it.
No, because don't we have Ghost Poppy now?
Ghost Poppy and Twin. That's only 8 damage.
Oh, okay. That's
Plus
not
his
enough.
Z attack. He's 4 wide. We're 4 wide. We kind of can't attack anymore, which is kind of funny. We were in like a pretty scary spot from easy to win, but him, Isolot, not being able to draw the rally, he can't exactly close out the game in the way that he wants, and we're gonna see this Leviathan come down, deal tons of damage to the Nexus, probably level up the Swain. No, never mind. But then we're gonna have to be able to block a 5 damage Overwhelm and a 3 damage Fearsome. It's not looking great for Isolot.
Looks like Isolot might still take this swing here. What do you think about that?
I think we kind of have to take the swing because we're not winning anyways. And I was gonna say, I imagine we see a ghost come out on one of these just to try and do anything.
Persistence is key. Easy does it.
But I don't. I think we probably needed to save the ghost just to try and go for a lethal somewhere if we live next turn.
I am the shadow. Only the worthy survive.
But yeah, this isn't looking the greatest for Isolot anymore. If we had drawn a rally at any point in this game, it was actually just over.
Of course, of course.
We can just see the sheer power of Zed Poppy, because even this deck that's supposed to like hard counter it, it can still hold its ground very well against it.
I mean,
I just saw that he drew the rally.
Yeah, now he top decks the rally. But I don't think it matters now, right?
No. We have what, 8 plus 6? We have 16 damage coming through. Plus 3 more for Swain. We have 19 damage here. Oh yeah. We can only block 4 of it. Or we can block 7 of it.
This is...
So yeah, we're just dead. Well, if we twin, yeah, no, we're still dead. Yeah, we can only block 7 damage here. And there's 8 overkill.
Wow.
And that's looking really good for Isolot. You know, he queued into the matchup, or not for Isolot, for Easy to Win. He queued into the matchup that he wanted to play into, and he won it. He must be feeling pretty good.
Yep.
And I'm curious to see what deck Isolot banned if it wasn't the rally deck. I assume it had to have been the rally. So we're probably going to see Darkness here. He banned Darkness.
Wait, he banned Darkness?
That is incredibly wrong from Isolot. That's... like, the ban had to have been Teemo Swain or Poppy. Yeah, that's... yeah, this might have just been decided in ban phase.
Yeah, he had to ban either one of these decks, right? Probably this deck, right?
Yeah, I probably would have banned Teemo Swain, just because I do not enjoy playing, but I also hate playing against scouts. So it's a tough call. because both these decks are annoying to play against. But I think the other decks that we have are better into Teemo Swain. I don't. So we do this just so the bird dies when it pulls the fearsome. Not sure. Is that worth it? I don't know. I'm not a lurk player.
I have absolutely.
I mean, I guess we always just want to lurk. Our units don't matter. Especially because we have a Rek'Sai in hand. We just pass here to play around the snap. Yeah, we see the call coming out here just to go ahead and give us a Rek'Sai drop.
Hitting that Rek'Sai prop. Of course, that's pretty good.
Cool, we got double hammers now.
And we got
Being able to pull. Down. Yeah. This guy, easy to win, has the perfect curve. Oh my god, and he had a treasure seeker.
That treasure.
That is nuts. That's so good.
Wow. Can he even block it?
I think he... Does he have to? I'm not... I mean, I guess we do, because like it's gonna trade either way.
True.
Same thing here. We just kind of have to do it.
But I think we take this one though, right?
I guess not. Oh, I think we're thinking we want to pull MF with the 5-2, and we want to pull the 2-1 with the Zerzai color. But we're gonna get blown out here by a Bright Steel.
Yeah. So we should have just killed MF while we had it, right?
Yeah, we didn't. But we wanted to predict also on the side of Isolot, just so we could hit, you know, whatever we predicted. I missed it because I am not on his side. We see MF is 2 away, so if he draws a... Oh, we have the rally. This might... Shoot, this might be game.
Honor guide me.
Yo, is it just me or is it easy to win this game so fast?
He's playing a really fast lineup, minus the darkness.
Like he just goes for it here, right? He goes for the rally.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not today.
Because MF is gonna get overwhelmed, and she does 3 to the Nexus. So MF is game literally by herself, and we do see that he's probably gonna drop the Rek'Sai here. But if he drops Rek'Sai, we just throw out either the Sergeant or the Sandswept Tune. I kind of like the Waking Sands over the Sergeant because it gives us more damage, and that should just be the game. Wow, easy to win, picking up the easy to win.
No regrets, no mercy.
That was an incredibly fast match. Wow.
Wow, that was so fast. I mean, but just like you said, it was pretty much decided during that day.
It 100% was. Those matches weren't. I mean, the first match was kind of close. If we had drawn a rally at any point, it could have flipped on its side real quickly. Especially because we had Ghost. Like, Ghost, you know, as you saw yesterday, is an incredibly strong card.
Yeah, for sure. Ghost will straight up turn the game from like something you shouldn't even be winning to something you just oh look, I have this card. Now I just win.
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, you're at 18 HP. You know, it would be funny if you were just dead. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Galley if we want to watch this third place match. And you got Flock.
Yeah, I got Flock.
Alright, I'm not sure what game this is. Judging by the clock, game. Well, we're playing Lee Sin, so there's no telling. Oh no, this is game 2 because we're only on turn 7. So this has to be at least game 2. It's impossible to go down 40 or 20 minutes, but and only be on turn 8. So we're safe to develop a Lee Sin here, I think. I like the soft pass with the 0 mana 3/3 Zoe.
Hold on.
But we see in Flock's hand, he's sandbagging a Sejuani. I don't know if sandbagging is the right word, but he's definitely holding it in his hand for the Lee Sin when he does come down. So I think Flock here is trying to decide, does he want to stop the Zoe, or does he really just want to wait for Lee Sin? And Flock is going to get incredibly rewarded here.
Oh wow.
The Winter's Claw endures.
You aren't sharing Galley's hand. Kakarot says.
Appreciate
But
that.
we're gonna go ahead and just be able to flip Lee Sin here while being able to kick Sejuani back into the hand. So I'm supposed to win every week now.
Yo, easy to win. Yo, congrats, bro. Congrats.
Congratulations on the win. You know, you're really proving your name right now.
Right? It's just, yo, it just coming into the tournaments being like, yo, I'm gonna get these fast wins because it's too easy, bro. Like, yo, chill, relax, bro. I don't want to have to rename the tournament Easy to Win. All right? Relax, right?
Alright, so what if we okay, I was gonna say if we twin here, we actually have lethal if we twin here. But we do see in Flock's hand with double make it rain.
True.
Would have been able to beat it. But this might still be, I would see, yeah, it's one off lethal. So we could have represented lethal, but I think it's definitely wrong to try and do that against the leveled up Sejuani. Oh wow, and he hits. And okay, we have the Hush. I was about to say that might be game because the Sejuani can just vulnerable the 4/1 and attack through for 5 damage, but
oh yeah, we have Hush.
But we have Hush and the stun, so we're in a pretty good spot. We're okay. But living next turn, that's a different question. Oh, he top decked a GP, so he's trying to debate if he wants to just jam a GP or summon the Sejuani. Alright, so this gets beat by just Zoe spell. We're gonna stun the GP and not even care about anything else he does this turn. And then we just win. This is game over for Flock.
Oh wow. He just Zoe spells it and says, okay.
Yep. Says you are not attacking right now, sir. I will just take the win next turn. Thank you very much. GG.
Literally. He's just like, alright. Here's the stun.
Explosives.
Yep, and that's it. Oh, I like the Hush on the barrel to stop a warning shot from dealing 3 to face. So he's playing around double warning shot. Very smart from Galley.
Wow.
That Hush would have also been able to prevent the Sejuani from even mattering at all. So Galley just had this game in the bag from the get-go. This Make It Rain does nothing. This Harpoon does nothing. We see the Deny in his hand. Every attempt at doing anything here is futile.
So GG's Galley. GG's, bro. It was definitely some.
I mean, even that, we just click OK. We don't have to do anything. We just
we don't even have to do anything to the Harpoon.
Yeah, Lee Sin's over here dealing 10 to the face for some reason.
Wow. Freaking insane, by the way.
I'm not. So that was at least game 2, so that very well could have been the match. We'll see in about 20 seconds here if there's another game or not.
Yeah, we're about to see right now.
Looking like that might have just been the end of it.
Yeah, I think that was it. Because I think they would have been in game.
Oh, yep,
by now.
that was Galley. A quick 2-0. Easy to win with the quick 2-0. That was a really fun tournament. I like that. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Yo, I had a good time. Yo, Mo in the beginning. Yo, Mo's casting, by the way. Yo.
Mo is a great caster.
My dude is professional, by the way. Yo. But anybody that won, I'll send you, either you send me a message through Discord, and we'll deal with all the monies and stuff like that, so don't worry about that. But let me see, let me just make sure yeah, you're right. Galley took it. Damn, that was so fast. Yo, I feel like we were waiting for the the semi-final match with Isolot for so long. It basically held up the it basically held up the tournament for like 30 extra minutes.
Yeah. This could have been over about 30 minutes ago, huh?
This could have been over like 30 minutes. I mean, my bad, guys. I wanted to wait to see if Maytree was gonna come back, because I don't want to DQ anybody for no reason, especially if there's a reason with the client. I didn't want to give them want to give them a chance, adequate time to come back, but they didn't come back, so I apologize to Isolot. But, he still ended up winning second. So, it wasn't for nothing.
It wasn't for nothing.
But all right.
Exactly. Thank you for covering for me this week. No problem, Doey. I had a lot of fun.
Casting these tournaments is always a good time. You get to see easy to win, get these easy wins. No, I'm joking. But it was a fun time though. I mean, we were watching Easy to Wins pretty much since the beginning, and he was able to basically pick up the dub. No, but all jokes aside, I know it seems like I'm making jokes, but like seriously, he won his matches so fast and convincing. Like,
he really did.
Damn.
He drew what he needed. He played perfectly, and was just able to clean up very well.
Yeah, he makes me want to play Scouts, bro. But I know it's a bad ladder deck. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he definitely makes me want to bring Scouts to a tourney for sure.
For sure. If you're able to draw MF on 3, Poppy on 4, Rally, like
you're just gaming, bro.
Yeah, you're just a gamer at that point. So you definitely deserve the win.
All right. So let me see who I'm gonna raid, because I know I'm pretty tired. Roji, you look pretty tired.
I'm hungry. I got food like an hour ago.
My bad.
Nah, you're good. My girlfriend came home and she was hungrier than I was. So.
Oh, okay.
You know how it be,
bro. You serious? Oh man! All right, let me find somebody to raid, and then we can head up out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, man. Again, I had a lot of fun.
Yo, of course, bro. Anytime. Like anytime Doey decides to not be hitting. No, I'm joking, but I had a good time casting, bro. It was a fun time.
Let's go raid Max. I love that guy.
Oh, is he streaming?
Yeah.
Alright, copy. Set that up real quick. What's he doing now? Like, you make him sound like he's so bad. Just chill. Max got a track. Okay, yeah, you're streaming.
Levi. I know you hear me calling you.
Alright, guys. I appreciate everybody that stopped by today. And I'll be streaming the podcast tomorrow, 8:30. I gotta hit up Doe to see if he gonna have time for that. But you guys should definitely check out the podcast. We usually go over some stuff from the tournament, and then tomorrow we're probably gonna glaze over the patch notes as well. So stay tuned for that. And right now we're gonna raid Max got the tracks because he got dumb tracks. But I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right, peace out.
Have a good one, everyone. Man, easy to win, dude.
Yo.